So on the line right now, we're going to have the second heat of the stock 200. In staging, we need to have the 120 stock. You should be in staging. Checkered flag is out this time around for the 20 buggy of Wyatt Olson. Wyatt sponsored by Olson Power Equipment and Hair Bear. And the 939 of Everett Storley, sponsored by the Double Wide, Krups Resort, and Stud Boy. That would be your first heat of the stock 200s. Your second heat just took the green. The 13X of Blake Vandeman. The 17 of Auburn Owen, the 18 of Jace Jeske, the 68E of Evan Theisel, the 153 of Liam Polil, the 311 of Leah Paulette, the 524 of Michael Rambo, the 545 of Henrik De Bruin, and the 707 of Easton Norman. This is your second heat of stock 200, ages 9 to 12. And bear in mind, these riders you see out there, we have riders from as far away as Thunder Bay, Ontario, out on the track right now. So on the line, stock 120s, and in staging, the 120 Open Champ Sleds and 200 Open. The 153 and the 13 seems to be the battle. That's going to be Liam Polil and Blake Vandam. And it looks like Blake kind of got the jump there. He is on the back, really making sure that he's got traction with that sled. Now you'll notice a lot of these riders, this is where experience comes in, are going wide right there before they get to that stud boy jump. And it's pushing them out into that softer snow. So it's easy for me to say sitting up here in the booth, but what they could do is try coming wider and then diving into that turn so that they'd be able to come out without getting into that soft snow. But once again, they go back to the trailer and they review the tapes to come up to that conclusion. So the white flag flying for the 13 of Blake Vandenham. His sponsors are Russell Creek Sawmill and Delling Construction. The 153 in second of Liam Polil. And Liam out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, is sponsored by Heartbeat Hot Sauce. All of them have seen the white flag. Next time around, it'll be the checkered. So on the line, we got another 120 class. This is going to be stock. And in staging, we go right from the stocks to the mods. The 120 Open or Champ Sleds, and then the 200 Open. They are in staging. Now, a lot of these riders, you'll hear me say the names multiple times. They're out here running multiple classes today. So that's one whole point of the Sunday Fun Day, is maximizing track time. The 13X of Blake Vandam is your first place rider in the stock 200 class. 153 is Liam Polil in second, and the 68E of Evan Theisel out of Elizabeth, Minnesota in third. That would be 9 to 12-year-olds in the 200 stock class. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit, folks. This is going to be the 120s. So we're going from 200cc sleds to 120s. And we have ages, according to my scoring sheet, anywhere from 2-year-olds to 7-year-olds. So we're going to have the number 5 of Colton Keifel, the 5X of Easton Green, the 25C of Clay Christensen, the 25B of Bowden Nelson, the 84X of Luca Jenkins, the 84 of Nico Jensen, the 100 of Cash Johnson, the 215 of Clay Lang, the 623 of Mackenzie Rambo, and the 905 of Willow Abraham. They've gone green. It looks like before we got to the stud boy hole shot, we had one tumble. Once again, our flaggers are out there quick to help. Get those tethers on, fire the buggies up, because remember, some of these riders can't even start their own sleds. That's the beauty of it. They're still out here racing anyways on a gorgeous sunny day here at ERX Motor Park. Sunday Fun Day. Everybody's back up and running. Oh, we got one other one not running. One quick rip of the rope and away they go. So this is a great bit of contrast. Anybody that's not maybe as seasoned with racing, what you're seeing right now are 120s bone stock. So out of the crate, these things should go about 8 to 10 miles an hour. And I don't know if anyone knows why, just like the kids' ATVs are governed to 8 to 10 miles an hour, but the average human being can run that fast. So I think we all may or may not have seen the kids get on one of these and not understand throttle and brake so well and just take off. In theory, you'd be able to chase them down, although I'd like to see you do it on the snow. Good luck. But so what you're going to see here is these are 120 stock sleds, and they do go through tech to verify there isn't any cheating. I know that's rarely going to happen here in racing. But you're going to see the opposite extreme on the line, because the next race we're going to have, they're lined up, and it's the 120 Open or Champ. So these are modded 120s, like as far as you can go modding them. And then the 200 Open. So we're going to go from watching these stock sleds to seeing just how wild you can get with them is going to be the next race. And you're going to see maybe just a significant change in the pace that they can hold. So the white flag's flying for the 5X. That's Easton Green out of Pelican Rapids. The second buggy coming across is the 623. That's Mackenzie Rambo. And then the 5 of Colton Keifel out of Elko New Market. Coming across right there, looks like we have the 100 of Cash Johnson out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So once again, your next class is the 120 Open or Champ and the 200 Open. We're going to combine them. And then behind that in staging, we should have the stock 200s ages 4 to 8. So white flag flying. This is our 5th race. All right, here comes your winner right there. That's the 5X of Easton Green out of Pelican Rapids, Minnesota on a cat. His sponsors are JS Service, Olsen Brothers Drywall, Sprinkler Man, Powerhouse Bar and Grill, Hillbilly Laser, and Arctic Cat, followed by the 623 of Mackenzie Rambo and the 5 of Colton Keifel. That concludes race 5 in the 120 stock class. All right, folks, now you're going to see the pace change. We're going to let the last few riders come across the line in that stock class, so pay attention to the speed that you see these sleds going at. Once again, stock, they're 8 to 10 miles an hour is roughly what they'll go. The fluffy snow plays a huge role in how quickly they move because they don't have the power to push through it as well. What you're about to see next is the opposite extreme. Heavily modified, plenty of power. Most of these riders coming up next, according to my scoring sheet, we have anywhere from 5 to 12-year-olds. And 3 of them are going to be running on modded Open Champ sleds. And the rest are on 200 Opens. So you'll notice now the pace picked up just a little bit. We got the 22 of Nixon Judnick, the 84X of Luca Jenkins, the 999 of Parker Ruck. They're all on 120 Open and Champ sleds. We got the 200 Opens out there of 20 of Wyatt Olson, the 88 of Grayson Forsyth, the 320 of Jackson Bauer, the 545 of Hendrik De Bruin, the 929 of Walter Stressy, and the 989 of Tyler Custodio. First one across the line, the 999 of Parker Ruck. That would be a 120 Champ sled, followed by the 20 of Wyatt Olson. So you'll see Parker up there. He's got a little more riser, more aggressive skis. I bet if you looked under the hood, there's maybe one part that resembles something that was stock at one time, like the belly pan maybe. That's about it. And you can see the difference. The sled clearly works. Has more speed. Parker seems to ride it quite well, as though he spent plenty of time on it. So on the line, your next race, we are going to go from these open mod sleds. So it's a white flag for Parker. Your next heat's going to be a stock 200. In second place right there, we got the 929 of Walter Strissy, followed by the 20 of Wyatt Olson, and the 989 of Tyler Custodio. So on the line, the stock 200s, 4 to 8 year olds, and then staging right behind them is going to be our second heat of stock 200, 4 to 8 year olds. Always love seeing at ERX Motor Park the kids. When we have this many classes of kids, you're watching the future of snowcross. Listen to the names, because these are the kids that someday you'll be watching on TV. You got to start them young to build up to what you see. The 999 taking the win. Parker Ruck out of Becker, Minnesota, sponsored by Ruck Company, Motor Soda, KZJ Electric, and BMP Auto Detailing. That was your winner in race number 6. So on the line, race 7, these are going to be 200s with 4 to 8 year olds. We got Easton Green on the 5, the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, the 22 of Rocky Hahn, the 23 of Liam Peterson, the 62 of Dylan J, the 67X of Chase Kenyon, the 99 of Easton Geyer, the 153 of Liam Polhill, the 517 of Noah Abraham, and the 910 of Henrik Storley. They've gone green. And we're going to have to the line is going to be the next round of stock 200 4 to 8 year olds. If you look just to your right above the track, you'll see a bald eagle flying overhead. Just makes you want to scream out, America. He's coming in to watch the racing, and he doesn't even have to pay. He has the best view in the house. So your leader, who looks like he got shot out of a cannon, I didn't catch the number. He's got those feet dancing all about on the running boards, making sure there's traction forward and backward, keeping that sled on the ground, propelling forward. It looks like that's the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer out of Malacca. His sponsors are Premier Rigs, Renegade Truck Equipment, 5-Star Plumbing and Heating, and Ram. So Caleb's going to be seeing the white flag coming across the line this time. Kind of a little showboating going on. I like the Stars and Stripes helmet he's got. The 23 of Liam Peterson in second. And then we have Dylan J in third. So all these riders seeing that white flag. And the next time around, they will get the checkered, and we will see the second heat of our stock 200 class. They are on the line. That means in staging, we're going to have a mixed race number 9, which is juniors 14 to 17 and a plus 30 snowcross. So we're going to have a mixed bag there. Oh, we got one buggy. Looks like it died, stalled out on him there. I think that was the 62 of Dylan J, but quickly hit the key and got it going again. Your winner came across there. That was the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, followed by the 23 of Liam Peterson and the 67X in third of Chase Kenyon. That's the top 3 in your stock 200 heat 1, might I add. Heat number 2 on the line is stock 200, and we got the 10 of Brantley Lambrecht, the 37 of Nixon Judnick, the 88 of Grayson Forseth, the 122 of Carson May, the 216 of Carter Lang, 320 of Jackson Bauer, the 524 of Michael Rambo, the 738 of Edison Cook, the 739 of Frankie Cook, and the 999 of Parker Ruck. They're all navigating that first turn. Looks like the stud boy hole shot goes to the 88 of Grayson Forsyth out of Minnetonka. We got one rider stalled out there. So it looks like our track workers are trying to help him. That buggy is failing to move, so they're going to kind of pull him out of the way. Still putting in a hard effort. The 88 kind of eked out a bit of a lead. That's Grayson Forsyth, and Parker Ruck, the 999, coming in on him. Yeah, Caleb had a good lead going there, but Parker's not letting him get away that easy. So this is the beauty of the stock 200 class. It's all about keeping that track on the ground to keep that forward momentum. Anytime you're getting them in the air, you're just losing that potential for driving forward. And it happened right there. Parker got around that 999. He's got the white flag first, so now Caleb's got a little work to do. The best view in the house is third, and Brantley Lambrecht just riding back there waiting for one of them to make a mistake or for those two to get too tangled up with each other, and he could capitalize on that. But it looks to me like Parker kind of got by, and he's looking comfortable right now. On the line, once again, our next race is going to be race number 9. Is going to be juniors 14 to 17 and a plus 30. Which means in staging, we're going to have race number 10, which is transition 8 to 10. Checkered flag flying for the 999 of Parker Ruck. Second place, Brantley Lambrecht. So Brantley played that card well, took the second. Your third place is the 524 of Michael Rambo. That's how they finish in that stock 200 Heat 2. All right, so we're going to have anywhere now. The ages are going up. We're going to have juniors out there anywhere from 14 to 17. We're going to have the 155 of Brody Esselman out of Big Lake, the 198 of Brecken Bishop out of Duluth, the 383 of Ryan Bowerly, the 712 of Lane Peterson, the 526 of Briar Schaefer, and the 221 of Andrew Jenkins. How you doing? Good. Good. Yeah, too. All right, you're going to see the pace pick up right here on this race. This will be fast and furious. Maybe, maybe not. Where'd you get the face from? Did they do that here? I don't know that. Dad, why don't you go get the face from a little bigger? Maybe get like a rose or maybe the skull and crossbones.
Or maybe a poop that Emmy has.
Who? You could have got a sheep, like look. You got a sheep. No? Oh, he's not here yet. All right, we've gone green flag. It's a fast class. Once again, we got juniors out there anywhere from 14 to 17. And it looks like it's the 383 of Ryan Bowerly is in the lead. The 526 trying to come underneath him there, Briar Schaefer, kind of giving him a run for the money. And then we also have 1 plus 30 out there cutting laps too. So a bunch of teenagers and a 30 plus. That way you keep it challenging. Keep those kids in check. All right, the 526, that's your leader. That's Briar Schaefer, made his way past. And it looks like the 383 is Ryan Bowerly. Now he's got a little work to do, and looks like your third place is the 712 of Lane Peterson. He got a little sideways, did Breyer, but he held a good pace there on the front side of the pumper pond. It's coming across that finish line jump. White flag for Breyer. Schaefer, your second place rider, the 383, but he's got some company. Ryan Bowerly's got the 712, kind of pushing him outside, a little contact, and he makes his way by. So Lane Peterson shuffled into the second position. I see a flap even got stuffed there on the one buggy, so there was some contact. But, oh, no, your leader's off. Coming on the front side of the bumper pond, he kind of got pitched to the right. And I see our flaggers are on it. He's up. So that's good to see. The checkered flag now flying for the 383 of Ryan Bowerly. Second place going to the 198 of Brecken Bishop. Well, it's always good to see. Safety is of the utmost importance here at ERX Motor Park. So it's good to see he's up, sled's fired, and back around. And you know what? He gets to go do it again. So you win some, you lose some. That's racing. That's going to bring us to race number 10. They're lined up. This is going to be a transition 8 to 10 class. This is just going to be the first heat because we have 2 heats of the 8 to 10-year-olds. We're going to have the 13X of Blake Van Dam, the 21 of Tanner Thompson, the 156 of Caleb Colehill, the 189 of Noah Gillis, the 314 of Bryson McKevley. They've gone green, the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, the 713 of Regan Trafford, and the 999 of Parker Ruck.
The track is still smooth, but that kind of makes them go a little faster.
Well, what slows them down then?
The other person. So when someone's behind the other person, the person that's in front of them, like there's a bunch of ice shooting at them from the thing on the back of their snowmobile.
So you can call that a teachable moment, right? Because if you're behind somebody, you know what you want to do. Watch their lines and figure out where you can take up time on. Where can I get past them? Where are they slower than me? Where do I get close to them? And take advantage of it on the next lap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're behind them, you're supposed to be learning how I can get by. Thinking, planning. Because you only have a few laps to do it, so you got to think quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's easy for me to say sitting up here. I give you credit because you're out there actually doing it. They just have me up here bumping my gums into microphones. I don't get to go do the racing. Of course, the doctor appreciates that I don't, too. All right, so we still have that green flag flying. Who do you think's going to take it?
I don't know.
You don't know. I bet the person out front will. And right now, that number, which is hard to see, so it's the 713 of Regan Trafford, the first rider seeing that flag. Now, Regan coming out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, sponsored by Halfway Motors, Power Sports, Great North Graphics, SJ Glass, Twin City Tile, FXR, Woody's, Stud Boy, and CNA Pro Skis. He's got a comfortable lead. This is kind of where you got to check who's behind you and maybe put it into cruise control versus make a mistake. We saw that in the last race, and that mistake brought him from the win to last. So that was a costly one. Checkered flag for the 713. That was Regan Trafford. The 621 of Diedrich Schwann out of Box Elder, South Dakota. And the 189 of Noah Gillis coming across in third. You guys. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I just ran out of. I travel. It's fun. It's great to have on track people who actually like. I remember the first time I announced with Taven.
Oh yeah.
You know, she was injured, and I'm like, oh, it's great to have the impact of someone who's actually out there versus just the old guy. Well,
True story.
all right, transition 8 to 10. This is the second heat. It looks like we have your leader out there. It's the 100 of Gabrick Guyan being chased down by Knox Holzer out of Crookston, Minnesota. So according to my scoring sheet, yeah, we have some 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and an 11-year-old. And in staging, we're going to have the Pro 206. They are on the line. And then right behind them, the Junior Ditch Banger. We even have one Brave Soul on a leaf spring sled. So Gabrick's still out front. Gabrick Guyan, the 4, but the 68X of Arian Kenyon giving him some competition. And Arian just rolled right by. So we had a little change up for the lead. All right, white flag flying. So your new leader is the 68X of Arian Kenyon. Gabrick Guyan in second. And it looks like the 123 of Calvin Messer is in third. And they're all seeing that white flag. And the next thing you're going to see hit the track is going to be the Pro 206s. So those of you that are not maybe as familiar with snowmobile racing, what those are is 120s that all have a spec 206 motor. So they have bigger motors in them. I guess technically we could call those mods. And they're significantly faster. Have you ridden a Pro 206?
No.
Would you like to?
No.
No? Well, I was going to arrange for it today to get you on one. I'll put that plan on hold. They're about to start. The checkered was flying there for race number 11. So race 12, this is the Pro 206, folks. Be ready. They're going to be fast. It's the 13X of Blake Van Dam, the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, the 25K of Cashton Nelson, the 33 of Lila Judnick, the 37 of Nixon Judnick, the 55 of Zane Thames, and the 106 of Keegan Ellis. So be ready. These sleds boogie. Boogie? In your day, it was a dance hall. All right, they've gone green, and the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer goes shooting to the front. You can see Caleb, the way he's standing up, moving forward, moving back. He's working the track, trying to keep that sled on the ground to keep the speed moving forward. So are you watching how fast he's going around the track and how he's moving his body on the sled? You got to take notes on this stuff.
Yes.
Okay. There's going to be a test at the end of the day, and if you do well, I'm going to give you a hat. Oh, he came into that finish line jump a little hot. Caleb Reinhofer, he looked back. He realized he didn't lose any position. The other beauty you have of sitting up here is you get to see where all the fast lines are. So now you know where you want to be on the track and where you don't want to be on the track, right? You're always studying. Or not. Did you get all your homework done?
I don't think I have any homework.
You have no homework. Well, that's why you're here racing, right? Because it's all done. Okay. Yeah, it better be.
I don't.
Okay. I'm just teasing you. All right, we still got the green flying for the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer. The 13X of Blake Van Dam is in second out of Russell, Minnesota. And the third place buggy looks like it is the 36 of Nixon Judnick. You told me last night, but that only counted for last night. Okay, Arlen. Okay. I know. All right, white flag's flying. I lost that. All right, so this is the Pro 206. Up next on the line, you will see these riders are the junior ditch bangers on the line, and one brave soul on the leaf spring sled. In staging behind them is going to be the Junior Open. So it looks like we got one rider here just at the finish line. They're trying to get his buggy refired, and they will get him across the line. Oh, he's trenching. Our flagger's running up there to get the flag. He's got other duties to tend to. That's a multi-talented flagger right there. Not only does he start sleds, wave flags, checks the trench. That would be the end of the Pro 206. Which means on the line, folks, take a look over there. We're running some older stuff. I love seeing it. It's kind of a skidoo show other than that one brave soul that decided a leaf springed Polaris was going to be a good choice for the day. So we have the Junior Ditch Bangers, the number 77 of Aaron Patton out of Cedar, Minnesota. The 716 of Jory Cortez, the Zimmerman Mexican Connection. The 942 of Bailey Stress out of Elko, New Market. They've gone green. And the 96 of Douglas Summer out of Shell Lake, Wisconsin.
Maybe a little ditch banger national practice going on.
Absolutely. That's what's cool is when we got these ditch banger classes, folks, you'll see the banners out front. February 24th, you're going to see all these buggies out here riding. So that's what it's for, is the Ditch Banger National. And it brings in anywhere from 250 to 300 sleds from 1999 and older. You want to talk about a good time. I mean, not as a rider, of course. But you're going to see your leader is the 77 of Aaron Patton. But Jory taking the wide line, the Mexican going around the outside. Jory's not having it. Shuffles him to the back and said, oh no, this is my race. Third place, you got the leaf spring sled of Douglas Summer. I'm thinking that's a TXL, I'm guessing. I would say it would be a TXC, except every vent in the hood's covered, and I would imagine it would get a little hot running that way on a day like this. So the green flag's still flying. This is your 13th race. That means on the line. Jory got repassed, but this is where she's good. Comes in, little contact, grabs a handful. On the line is going to be Junior Open. You are up next. Jory goes shooting past. Inside, outside line. She's just showing the track off for the crowd there.
These sleds are older than me.
These sleds are much older than you. Have you ever ridden a snowmobile with leaf springs?
No.
No. I love it. So you've never ridden a 1971 Ski Rule S400 like my dad bought me when I was 10?
No.
Oh, boy, you are missing out. It smokes, it makes noise, it tips over real easy. Yep.
My first one was a 73 LT Gray.
Ooh.
So yeah, full of leaf springs.
Yep.
No shocks.
I think there was a 70. There was one of those out here. I believe last night there was an El Tigre. It was a newer one, El Tigre 6000. Yeah, and I actually, through a friend of a friend of a friend, who's like, oh, you know, a snowmobile guy, just drove this morning and bought a '87 Jag.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
87 Jag.
Because why
Take
not?
that. Yeah.
For $100, sitting in a garage under a cover, hasn't ran in 8 years.
Get those mice out of the airbox, you're good to go.
Yep. Well, I put my son and my neighbor, who are 10 and 17. I said, I'm going to stand here and coach, but I am going to do nothing on this snowmobile. But I will guide you into making it run.
Is that a 440 or a 340?
340. It's a 3000. 3,000. So we have gone green. This is going to be a fast and furious, folks. This is Junior Open. We got the 155 of Brody Esselman, the 383 of Ryan Bowerly, the 415 of Avery Hemmer, the 526 of Briar Schaefer, the 712 of Lane Peterson, and the 717 of Noah Nathy. Nathy. I'm just making up names as we go. Looks like the 717 of Noah is out front right now, but Ryan Bowerly hot on his heels.
There's my friend Avery Hemmer.
Well, once again, this is Junior Open, so we've got 12 to 17-year-olds on the track right now.
That's 12 to 16.
And you'll see lining up,
Avery Hemmer's like 9 or 8.
we've got some older buggies, anywhere from the 440 to the 600 variety, dating back from roughly 07 to 98. Noah out front still, the 383 kind of got pushed back a little bit, Ryan Bowerly. Oh, Ryan got off that berm, and I think he got down into the hole, and his balance was off, and he kind of high-sided. Looks like the sled's still running. He's maybe pinned under it there, or got it upright. It happens. It's kind of like writer's block. Fortunately, I have the gift of gab. All right, so now your new second place rider is going to be the 526 of Briar Schaefer out of Armenia, North Dakota. And those two have kind of rallied out front. So once again on that line, there's going to be some older buggies coming up next. You'll see some of these at the Ditch Bangers. So the next couple of heats are going to be Ditch Bangers. Checkered flag flying for the 717 of Noah Nathy, the 526 of Briar Schaefer coming across the line very close to the back. The 155 with Brody Esselman in third, which is going to put us into some older stuff now. This is going to be a packed heat. We're going to have 14 of Eston Bishman. They've gone green. The 17 of Gary Rude. The 26 of Zach O'Mara. The 45 of Caden Anderson. The 54 of Tucker Anderson. The 068 of Peyton Smith. The 77 of Ethan Leach. The 95 of Aaron Patton. The 393 of Mitchell Fruth. And the 771 of Chase Patton. And it looks like, I think the early leaders is going to be the 95 of Aaron Patton. Yep, Aaron's running, I think that's what, a 98 Red Rocket, the newer seat on it. We got the 17 of Gary Rude in second.
So far, the first place winner is the 95.
That's right. The 95 of Aaron Patton out of Cedar, Minnesota. And you see who his sponsor is? Patton Heating and Air. It's almost like his name is the same as his sponsor. Is your sponsor Mom and Dad?
Yeah.
Trust me, you know what? You're going to look back at this someday and be like, man, I remember when Mom and Dad paid for all the stuff that I did, and it was way better than me having to pay for it. The 95, it looked like he kind of had a bit of a kind of was looking down there for a second. I don't know if he thought something was going wrong or what happened, but he's got a pretty comfortable lead. Once again, folks, this is a lot of the stuff you're going to see in just a few weeks here at the Ditch Banger National. In the past few years, it has been packed. White flag. And the beauty of the Ditch Banger National is you can come out here and line up against pros, semi-pros, sport riders. You can line up right alongside of them and try to give it your best and see how it works out. So the white flag flying for him, and the next thing we see on the line is going to be more Ditch Bangers, the Ditch Banger Twins, and after that in staging, the Ditch Banger 10 to 13, so the juniors.
A lot of 440s, no greasy triples in this one.
There's not. I think we did last night. We had a separate class for them.
And they deserve that separate class.
They do, because it was funny. There was more grooming that took place by front bumpers with the triples out there. We do. Race number 24 is going to be the triples.
There we go. I'm going to look forward to that one.
Not so much riding one, but watching.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, we got Ditch Banger Twins on the line. The 716 of Jory Cortez. The 731 of Jagger Cortez. It's kind of like the Mexican Connection family battle. So you got to remember, their taco truck business is slow right now. There's no one there making food. So the 732 of Terry Lominen, and this is going to be pretty much a Ski-Doo Yamaha battle.
Hey, that's not very nice.
And I'm willing to bet, based on these three riders, these are going to be the podium finishers for this event. I'm not sure on that yet, but that's just my prediction. We'll see how it works out. So it looks like we're just making sure that track's cleared, get all of our flaggers in position. And this will be Ditch Banger Twins. Right behind them in staging, we have Junior Ditch Banger. And next up behind them is going to be another junior class, heat number 1. So we have riders out there spanning 17 years old, 20 years old, and 55. So the guy on the Yamaha is older than the combined other two riders in general. And not only that, is he riding a TSS Strut VMAX?
Oh, yeah, the straight pogo sticks.
Absolutely, because that's what I want to ride in snowcross. Hello. And it looks as though Jagger Cortez is out front. And Jagger's got that buggy built for the Ditch Banger National. And something just came flying off and into the crowd. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a little boomerang just went off there.
Some lucky fan is going to be taking home a prize.
Yeah. I'd actually, know what I'd do is I would go back to his trailer, to the taco truck, and I would be saying, hey, if you want this piece back, I'll take 2 Burrito Supremes, and I'll give you this piece back. Otherwise, nothing. It's a hard bargain, but, you know, if he wants to race. It's not slowing him down, so I'm trying to figure out what it was.
Everyone's going to win with that deal.
Yeah. Now, Jagger and Jory have both been out here as long as I can remember, and trust me, I've been here since the 70s, so it's been a while. That Yamaha is is that a Pro Action rear skid? My goodness.
It is making me hurt
It
just
is.
watching it go around.
Yeah, my herniated disc just started to throb.
Taco truck and say, hey, if I give you this, and I give you tacos.
All right, the white flag was flying for him, so the next time around, here comes Jagger. He's kind of crossing it up a little. He's showboating a little. This is usually when it gets good. He's trying to impress the crowd. And all this is good training for that Ditch Banger National coming up February 24th. So you're going to see more Ditch Bangers. They're on the line right now. Right behind him is the juniors. All right, Jaeger Cortez taking the win in the Ditch Banger Twins. First one to get to that checkered. And it looks like if the running order stays the way it is, your second place rider is going to end up being Terry Lominen on a Yamaha. Something we don't see a lot of at ERX, nothing we never really have, is the Yamahas. And I don't know, I mean, as of next year,
Yeah,
chances of that are even less
I agree. Yeah.
as they stop producing snowmobiles for 2025.
That's like a freshly painted Yamaha, too. Oh,
It is.
we got an off.
Yep. Looks like Jory's. They got to get that buggy fired up or we're going to have to red flag. Yeah, I agree with you. That Yamaha looked like it was freshly painted, and I think his strategy was knowing that Yamaha is going out next year. He went and got a custom paint job and said, I'm going to throw this thing on the racetrack, and the value, because Yamaha's going to quit producing sleds, is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I think it's a good strategy.
I don't agree, but I think it was great that he did what he did.
Yeah.
The value hasn't changed, nor will it. And the fact that you raced it didn't help either, but good for you. So we're going to line these junior ditch bangers back up. So we had a buggy still on the track there that we just had to red flag it. We'll get them all lined up and going again. This is going to be junior ditch banger age 10 to 13. We got the 5 of Casey Wallace, the 6 of Paige Wallace, the 7 of Chase Wallace. It's the Wallace Trio coming out of Princeton, Minnesota. The 25W of Weston Christensen, the 59 of Lyric Knighton, the 77 of Ryan Brandel, the 77 of Aaron Patton, the 521 of Julia Olson, and the 771 of Chase Patton. Looks like we got them all back on the line. All right, we have gone green officially. We just had some first turn antics there where sometimes it's good that if you're coming into a turn, you just shove a ski up somebody's tunnel. It's a quick way to make them stop, and, well, it makes you stop as well. So the problem is a lot of these sleds, because they're racing, don't have reverse, so you can't just back out of the situation. So right now it looks like the 77 of, I think it's Aaron Patton. Or it might be Ryan Brandel. I don't know. There's two 77s.
It looks like they're chewing up the track a lot.
I think they are. And part of that could be the sun. And the other part of it could be the temperature, and then the other part of it could just be the tracks. They're out there turning up the snow. So do you want the track a little more chewed up, or do you want it just groomed perfect?
Not perfect, but groomed.
Groomed? Okay. I'm with you on that. You know, my lower back likes it better when the track is groomed and the trails are groomed. But that's not always the case. So you know what? You got to get good at riding in both conditions and adapt. That is the key, to adapt. The sled might not always be perfect. The snow might not always be perfect. The lighting might not always be perfect. But you know what? Adapt, adapt, adapt. That green flag's still flying. It looks like the number 7. And here's your leader, the 77. I'm still not real sure who that is, but he's followed by the 59 of Lyric Knighton and the 5 of Casey Wallace, followed by another 7 of Chase Wallace. So on the line, we're going to have a really fast class. This is going to be the junior 10 to 13. They're on the line. And in staging right behind them, we're going to have junior 10 to 13. So 2 heats of 10 to 13-year-olds.
Yeah. We did it last year.
Do it, Dad.
I'd love to
Dad,
go do
can I
it.
do it? Can I do
So there was your winner of the 25W, Weston Christensen.
Why? Why can't I do it?
Yeah, we got a B.
He's here now.
Yeah, he was recording. Yeah, he got it. Yeah. And that was at the hostility class.
Yep.
So,
He's 54. All right, this is going to be fast, folks. Watch these guys. This is 10 to 13-year-olds. We got the 27 of Lane Weiss, the 052 of Brock Madsen, the 133 of Maddie Anderson, the 415 of Avery Hemmer, the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, and the 814 of Kyra Hassler. So it looks like the 415 of Avery Hemmer out front being chased down by the 621 of Diedrich Schwann. Diedrich's got a little heat right behind, though. And it looks like that's going to be the one, boy, did I miss that, the 052. So that's Brock Madsen out of Verndale, Minnesota.
Avery Hemmer's one of my friends.
Really? So do you ride with Avery?
No.
No?
She does that class and I have to do the first class.
Well, when we came to the Learn to Ride clinic one year, my son got to line up next to Avery on his snow scoot, and Avery was far more seasoned than my son, and that didn't go so well for him. He didn't like going into the first turn with all those sleds and somebody that doesn't let off. And I said, nope, you just have to get comfortable. That's what it is. That's how it is. And you can, you know, bump into somebody next to you in the turn. It's okay. Don't plow into them, but you can bump them.
Is that what you learned at the Learn to Ride?
No, you taught me that.
Well done, Dad.
No, you taught me that.
Yep.
No.
So Avery got a comfortable lead. Avery Hemmer, she's out front right now, and then we got the second place buggy that's got a bit of a gap back there, and that looks like that is the 621 of Diedrich Schwann out of Box Elder, South Dakota. Got some sponsors of Schwann Motorsports, Rose Horsepower, R12 Design, Stud Boy, CNA Pro Skis, Arctic Cat, Climb, Mid-Atlantic Energy Service, Oak Interiors, and Miloff Construction. Checkered flag 5 for Avery. Big round of applause. That was a great race. Dominant performance by Avery. The 621 of Diedrich Schwann rolling across in second.
Dad, that's too small for
And the 052 of Brock Madsen in third. So this is going to be another heat right here. Juniors 10 to 13. We're going to have the 256 of Drew Bowerly, the 311 of Peyton Weisbrod, the 519 of Mason Preen, the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt, the 824 of Brecken Peterson, and the 952 of Jackson Rath. Once again, this is going to be 11, 12, and 1 13-year-old out there. And lined up behind them is one of my favorite classes, Ditch Banger, 1990 to 99. That's going to be a packed heat, and some of those sleds might even finish. So you did the Ditch Banger last year, and you finished.
Yeah. Did the Ditch Banger?
You're signing up again this year.
Signing up. Got to do it.
And
It's
what did
too
you
addicting.
change? Anything?
Changed nothing.
Okay.
Not a thing.
Not even a spark plug.
Not even a plug. No, keep with what's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You change one spark plug and then they follow.
That's true.
You know?
In fact, a friend of mine has won multiple times the Eagle River vintage single-cylinder class on a Viking that they can't quite figure out why it runs so good. So he said literally they pull it off the shelf, go win with it, and they put it right back on the
Yeah.
shelf. He goes, I don't want to touch it. I don't know why, but I feel like it's going to let go eventually. And we're
It's an
talking
anomaly.
Yeah. All right, so we have gone green flag. Once again, these are 10 to 13-year-olds. This is our second heat in junior 10 to 13. And right there, the finish line, the 952 goes to the front. That's Jackson Rath out of Elko, New Market, Minnesota. Followed by the 256, which is Drew Bowerly out of Sauk Rapids. His sponsors are Fly Racing, Digital Ink, Stud Boy, CNA Pro, Rock Speed FX, and Central Hydraulics. They're all kind of lumped together. Pretty competitive. And it looks like the race right now is for third, and that was the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt. Staying on the inside. We'll see how that works out if Eleanor makes her way by. And she did. So your new second place is Eleanor Schmidt out of Brainerd, Minnesota by Krazik Racing, Bikeman Climb, CNA Pro Skis, Digital Ink Designs, Redline Tools, Ice Sports, and Sled Girls. Now Eleanor's got some work to do to make it up to that first place.
She's got the pink sled just representing the Valentine's Day theme here.
Yeah. And I like that neon on the suit.
Yeah.
I even was at a ski hill earlier this year and realized like the bright neon's kind of making a comeback.
It is. It's like mid-'80s style.
Right. Yeah, it goes back to my
Yeah,
childhood.
me too. Yeah, exactly. Leg warmers, neons.
Oh, you wear the leg warmers too?
Yeah, you had.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a good look on you. That checkered flag that's going to be flying next time around. That's going to be race 19. So race 20 on the line, which is Ditch Banger. And right behind them in staging, we're going to have transition 8 to 12. No, I you? So your winner, Jackson Rath, the 952, and Eleanor Schmidt coming across the line in second. Your third place rider, the 256, Drew Bowerly. And right now we're lining up all the ditch bangers. So you're getting a front row seat to what you got to compete against.
Nice. Yeah, that's the whole purpose. I'm scouting right now.
Right.
Just scouting.
And we got a couple that got a little frisky, it looks like. They're jumping them forward because we got plenty of them lined up.
And that Yamaha's making a second appearance, too.
Yeah, that first round when he was out there was just to get those struts warmed up.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And then once they're warmed up, boy, they really start to work terribly.
We're going to see some good stuff out of it right now.
Absolutely. We got the number 7 of Grayson Baxter, the 25 of Mitchell Gross, the 32 of Nash Unzi, the 77 of Aaron Patton, the 83 of Chris Spicer. They've gone green. The 97 of Jack Lettermero, the 147 of Gabe Godin, the 198 of Brecken Bishop, the 623 of Mike Paulette, and the 732 of Terry Lominen. Looks like they are all successfully past the finish line, or the starting line and the Stud Boy hole shot jump, but there is definitely a battle for that first place position amongst 4 sleds.
Some rubbing going on in that FXR corner.
There was. I see Brecken Bishop in second and that Grayson Baxter out front showing no love for that Indy. In fact, he's got an Indy 440 hood. That was my first sled, a 92 Indy 440. Not
really?
the XCR, just the regular Indy 440. Then I made the mistake of riding my buddy's XCR and going,
yeah.
Why did I buy the 440 Indy?
Was just the Indy, was that a fan then?
Nope, it was a liquid.
It was. Okay.
Smaller carbs than the XCR. It had 34s instead of 38s.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And it didn't have gas shocks. So we got some older technology. I believe we got an extra 10 out front. And Bishop on an extra 12. Just watch that suspension work. So it's two complete different ideologies. The sled in the lead is a rising rate, so it is meant more for this kind of abuse, to take larger impacts and absorb them. The sled that's in second is an extra 12. That is a falling rate suspension. Wonderful for trail riding because it falls into the holes, it's plush, it's soft. Snow crossing, not so much.
No. But making it count right now, though.
Yeah. Believe it or not, once you figure out their limitations, they'll work. I mean, you can make them work, but you're going to get beat a little bit more.
That's right.
Of course, any of these sleds, you're not exactly out for a plush ride.
No, no. Even the new 600s.
No. All right, coming around, they're going to see the checkered flag. It looks like Brecken extra 12'd his way right past.
Just pounded through there.
Absolutely. Showing that thing no mercy. A little smoke rolling out of it. So that was your winner right there, was Brecken Bishop, sponsored by Amy Jordahl, State Farm, RJ Sport and Cycle, Horizon Retail Construction, Cast Iron Bar and Grill, Minnesota Marshmallow, FXR, Fowler Parts and Service, Bikeman Performance, Thunder Sports Performance, and Caves Customs. We are going green and transition 8 to 12. This is another 2 heats we're going to have. This is a packed one. The 4 of Knox Holzer, the 15X of Liv Schmitz, 27 of Lane Weiss, the 88 of Colton Wendt, the 156 of Caleb Polhill, the 189 of Noah Gillis, the 200 of Wyatt Olson, 314 of Bryson McEvely, the 713 of Regan Trafford, and the 824 of Brecken Peterson. And the green flag's flying. The first one across the line is Regan Trafford out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. Sponsored, he's 10 years old, sponsored by Halfway Motors, Power Sports, Great North Graphics, SJ Glass, Twin Cities Tile, FXR, Woody's, Stud Boy, and CNA Pro Skis.
It's a long haul, Thunder Bay to Elk River, but making it count right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some riders here from Thunder Bay. I also saw riders from Box Elder, South Dakota. I mean, we're borderline an international event. Well, we are actually. We got the Cortez family straight out of Mexico. They're here. And that's a long haul all the way up from Mexico with the taco truck, and then the sleds, they just leave here. They throw them in the pond in the summer, and then they pull them out when the season starts, and
Sure.
they kind of, freshen them up. All right, so this is just your first heat of 8 to 12-year-olds. We got 2 heats of them. And then we're going to move into another ditch banger 2000 to 2009 class coming up after that. White flag flies for the 713 of Regan Trafford. How about next race you call all these riders? Can you name off all these riders? The next race? Not yet. I'll tell you.
Do that?
All right, that white flag's flying, so next time around, it looks like it's going to be the 713. He's got a comfortable lead going. Here he comes. He's going to see that checkered. 713 of Regan Trafford, your second place sled. 27 of Lane Weist. And on the line is going to be our second heat. You want to call them off?
152. What is it? Brooke Madsen. 68X. Arlen 115 Avery Hemmer, 519 Marion Brian, 621 Dedrick Swan, 811 Eleanor Smith, 814 Kyra Hassler, 5952 Jackson Rath, 973 Wyatt Strigi.
And it looks like your friend's out front. The 415 Avery Hammer.
Go Avery!
Now Avery, I've seen Avery do a lap or two around the ERX track before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said you've come out and you've done the Learn to Ride clinic?
Yeah.
So I want to hear firsthand experience. You've done the Learn to Ride clinic. What did you learn?
To ride?
You learned to ride. So you know what? That's how they appropriately named the event, which is great naming, isn't it? So they practice what? You practice starts?
Starts and riding.
Starts and riding. They try to focus on cornering, line choice through bumpy sections.
So I think it starts, leaning and standing up,
Yep.
and moves.
Yep. That's awesome.
And like a lot of pros taught me. Like
Yep.
a lot of pros.
Who are the pros?
Taven Woody, Elias Ischel, Riley Bester, Travis Curran,
Wow.
and Anna Hauger.
So you had some big names out there.
Tasha Lang.
Tasha Lang. Well, there's some Langs out here racing today. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to think about it. That's pretty cool that they have an event here at ERX where you can come out and these pros come out and take time to spend the day with you and talk to you about different ways to look at the track, navigate the track, and just teach you how they got to where they are, right? They're pros. They got
Yeah.
fast. They got fast by riding, by racing, but they're teaching you what they know to make you do the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Because you are the future of the sport.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right, so that was the checkered flag flying right there. And now we're going to line up the 2000 to 2009 Ditch Bangers. All right, this is going to be a busy class. We have the 002 of Brandon Bishop. We're going to have the 4Z of Alex Forsland, the 7 of Grayson Baxter, the 26 of Zach O'Mara, the 77 of Ethan Leach, the 95 of Aaron Patton, the 128 of Aaron O'Rourke, the 198 of Brecken Bishop, 716 of Jory Cortez, the 731 of Jagger Cortez, and the 771 of Chase Patton. They are using up pretty much every available inch of the starting grid, and they're going to funnel down into a turn that's about half that width. What could possibly go wrong? I think this sounds like a great strategy. So once again, folks, this is our Ditch Banger class. You're going to see some of these sleds next February 24th when the Ditch Banger National is right here at ERX. And it looks like your early leader, Jagger Cortez, the Mexican Connection. I don't know if that sled made it through tech or not. It seemed to come out of the hole awfully hard. We might have to have that one tore down just to make sure. And I see the 198 of Brecken Bishop just got passed into second place, and the 95 of Aaron Patton in third. All right, so still your leader out there is Jagger Cortez. Brecken Bishop in second, and the 95 of Aaron Patton. Oh, looks like we got a yellow flag. One rider down in that first turn, but they'll get him. Looks like he's just getting that tether cord on, and he'll be back up and running in no time. White flag flying as Jagger Cortez comes across the line. He's brought to you by PB Blaster, CRC Brake Clean, Gum Out, Seafoam, and the Cortez Taco Truck, which is lightly staffed at the moment, I might add. All right, looks like we got that rider going in the first corner. So the next time around, they should see the checkered flag for your winner in the ditch banger, Jagger Cortez. Your second place rider, who is seatless, which is kind of a weight saving strategy, that's Aaron Patton. So just remember that sled started the race heavier than it finished, mainly because of getting rid of the seat, which is, you know, a painful strategy, but it does technically lighten the sled, so I can understand. All right, folks, this is one I want you to really take note of, okay? There was a trend starting in, I don't know, what was it, sometime, well, it goes all the way back to the 70s, but I'd say it really started heating up in the late 80s and into the 90s, the triple wars. There was triples, there was monoblock triples, there was case reed triples, there was piston port triples, there was single pipe triples. It was all about the triple. Something you don't see a lot of nowadays unless it happens to be a 3-cylinder Yamaha motor with a turbo on it. But that being said, we're going to line up some triples. More motor, not necessarily more suspension, because you got a big triple motor hanging out front. And what you'll notice is a lot more bumpers auguring into jumps and snow flying over the windshields with these. That's not to say they don't have plenty of ponies under the hood. I do see 2 Yamahas and 2 Polarises out there. And these particular Yamahas make some power. So we call this class the Ditch Banger Triples. And we've got the 068 of Peyton Smith out of Montevideo, Minnesota on a Polaris. He is 19 years old. The 96X of Brighton Summer out of Danbury, Wisconsin, out of Yamaha, who's also 19 years old. The 321 of David Olson out of Montevideo, Minnesota on a Polaris, who's 18 years old. And the 733 of Derek Bartz out of Moose Lake, Minnesota on a Yamaha. They have gone green. And that'll bring us to another race that's just fun for everyone. Coming up next on the line, we're going to have the 2-up race. That will be our 25th race of the day. And then we get the groomer fired up and get out there and touch up the track before we commence the racing. So it looks like right now we got one of them Yamahas out front. And that is the 733 of Derek Bartz, followed by the 068 of Peyton Smith and the 321 of David Olson. All right, ditch banger triples. Plenty of motor, lacking suspension, but the seats help. You know, got to have a little cush there. But they definitely give the shocks a workout. That's the one thing about the triples is that you will definitely know whether or not you've rebuilt the shocks. And even if you did, they're not liking life right now. It's a lot of weight to support going around the track, those big triple motors. But God bless them, because if any of you have had the chance to ride them, they are a hoot to ride. A little bit heavier throttle pull, but boy, for their time, they were fast. Of course, the term fast has been used relatively because it's all changed now. So the white flag's flying for the 733 of Derek Bartz. And the 068 running in second place of Peyton Smith, followed by the 321 of David Olson. And that's going to bring up something that you got to get out and see, folks. The next race is going to be the right thing to do. Ride 2-up around the snowcross track. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. And better yet, after you do a couple laps, let's pull back over and then switch so the passenger who's been enjoying the bumps gets to now throttle you around the track. Of course, the suspensions have been calibrated for this 2-up riding, absolutely. Checkered flag for your winner, the 733 of Derek Bartz, the 68 of Peyton Smith, and the 321 of David Olson. That would be the triple ditch banger class. No, I'm good for now. Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate it, though. Yeah, you too.
Your voice up here makes us. I mean, being honest with it, the other guy, not knocking him.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like,
We try to keep yapping.
whoa.
All right, we've gone green, and as quick as we've gone green, we've gone over. So, one thing everybody want, you know, I'm not going to point out the obvious, but one way to not do well in a 2-up race is to flip the snowmobile upside down. It does impede forward progress, okay? But the driver and passenger have now had that discussion. They've cleared the air, and now they're going to start after they get fuel back into the carbs. And they can figure that out moving forward, that they want to keep the skis and the track down, okay? So we've solidified that. Huh? All right, so coming across the line is the 100 of Gabrick Guyan. Right behind him is the 824. I mean, look at how plush these sleds go around the track, because they are all 2-up touring sleds in disguise as snowcross sleds. So really, these were purpose-built just for 2-up racing. Okay. Oh, folks, this is just wonderful, isn't it? So now what you're going to see is our flaggers are going to force them to switch. The passenger now gets to drive, so they have the flagger you'll see is waving the yellow, so you have to go back to the starting line safely. Because it's always great to take a snowmobile and put 2 people on it. The stability is drastically improved. The center of gravity is not raised at all. That's a myth. Back to the starting line, and you switch the driver and the passenger. Yeah. And now, boy, even look at this. I see a purple skirt. This is wonderful. I couldn't think of a better thing to do on a Sunday than two-up ride around a snowcross track. My back actually just started to swell up a little thinking about it. Well, we got that Yamaha upright again, and they're out there doing laps. So they're going to get the white flag this time by. And that's the 100 of Gabrick Guyen with the same driver as the first two laps. Awkward. Eleanor Schmidt's buggy just shuffled back into second place.
Well, it's a takeoff for corners. So they use it for practice. Switch drivers to 286 at these racetracks. So 236, 1.5. Swap. I remember I got a track Yeah, they switch them after every weekend.
All right, folks, I want everybody in front of the Motor Park Chalet. We got a little special announcement we're going to do. Believe it or not, there is 2 people here turning 5 years old today. So we're going to have a little birthday sing-along. And I need the help from all the crowd, all the fans, everybody get out there because we're going to sing along and wish them a happy birthday. You'll see Joe's bringing 2 birthday cakes up there. It's actually just pictures of snowmobile birthday cakes. I like it. All right, folks, as they make their way up there, we're going to make this special, so I need everybody to sing along with us. We're going to get a picture on the top of our Fox finish line jump with the whole family. Talk about an awesome birthday present right there. Sun's shining at the racetrack, racing snowmobiles. I mean, this is a great day right here. You know, watching everybody kind of get in place so we can sing this reminds me of what it's like to try to herd cats. Very similar, but with a different outcome. All right, we got everybody in place. Let's start off. Everyone sing along with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the both of you. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Thank you, everybody, for coming out to ERX. Wish them a happy birthday as you see them walking back down off that finish line jump. Make it a special day for them. Feel free to come into the Motor Park Chalet, get yourself something to drink, head out to our food trucks outside, grab yourself something to eat. And we are going to let our groomer operator touch that track up and get it in primo condition once again, and we will get back to racing.
Freight is the backbone of the country. And as long as people need goods, they're going to need somebody to get it to them. My name is Matt Bowl with QualityFreightRate.com, powered by T-Force Worldwide. We provide LTL, truckload, and expedited freight services across this country. If your freight weighs over 120 pounds going over 120 miles, that's where my shipping rates kick in. We help companies ship easier for less. With our system, our customers are able to quote and book shipments with ease 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're having trouble with damages, lost freight, claims of any sort, we can help you with our experience, solve the problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years. We know this industry. We can help all size business, big or small, we love them all. But we have a special spot for small business. Small businesses are pillars in the community. Low rates are critical for a small business because the margins are generally pretty small. They need to have competitive rates. They can't be getting gouged or they lose the sale. Freight is simple. People make it difficult. We work as consultants in the industry, so it doesn't matter what your problem is, we'll solve it. We educate the customers, we solve problems, and we lower their shipping rates. And that's what I've been doing for 20 plus years.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers that certified Angus beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected. So this whole operation here, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but it needs to have passion. And today, I'm changing lives of people that work with me. My guys are learning lifelong skills and values. That's the good stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's have a good time at it.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
All right, we got it going. Race number 1. Second edition of today's Sunday Fun Day right here at ERX. And it looks like the checkered flag is going to be out next time around. We got the 179 of Emmy Simonson, the 311 of Leah Paulette, and the 708 of JC Carlson. This is the junior girls under 200 cc out there cutting laps. So on the line, we're going to have the 120 improved stock. You're on the line, and that means in staging all of the other 200s, we're going to have the 9 to 12-year-olds, 2 heats. So the checkered flag was flying right there. That was the 179 of Emmy Simonson taking the first. The 708 of JC Carlson coming across the line in second. And we will let the third rider on the track make her way around. This is Leah Paulette. And when she comes across the line, we have gone green in the 120 improved stock. And out there right now, we have the 88 of Chase Reinhofer, the 216 of Carter Lang, the 517 of Noah Abraham, and the 725 of Owen Halata. This is the 120 improved stock class. Got that one buggy. It looks like he came into the, before the hole shot, came into the turn and maybe got a little high-sided. So they're getting that sled going again, which means your leader, he's going to be coming around and seeing that green flag and nothing but fresh, clean track in front of him is the one and only 216 of Carter Lang out of Maple Grove. He is 5 years old and sponsored by Fly Racing, Lang Construction, Derby Racing, 139 Designs, Shane Thompson Farms, Mike Botzek, Victory Fuel, Northern Crankshafts, Fowler Parts and Service, and Beaton Farms. So he's currently doing the right thing. He's under the yellow, the cautionary flag. And that is Carter Lang, your current leader in the 517, and Noah Abraham in second on a Polaris. He is 6 years old. Boy, there's nothing like seeing these kids at a young age like that out there just doing laps on a beautiful day. Sun's shining. I wish I could tell you folks that I'd rather be snowmobiling, but that's not even an option at this point, sadly. Hopefully, this winter will turn on eventually before spring hits. And there's Carter coming across the line, seeing that white flag, knowing the next time around he's going to have the checkered. Your second place rider is actually the 517 of Noah. And then right there in third is the 725 of Owen Halata. All right, folks, I want to give you a little chance at taking home some swag. And this is going to test your knowledge, but it should be very easy. Walking amongst you today at ERX Motor Park is a competitor from the famed Iron Dog. So if you know the Iron Dog, it's a cross-country race across Alaska, right around 2,200 miles. We have a multi-time competitor in the Iron Dog. If you can come up in the announcing booth and tell me who it is, I've got some swag I'm going to give you. So as they finished right there in the improved stock, that was the 216 of Carter Lang was your winner. And now we have gone green in the stock 200s, 9 to 12-year-olds. The 20 of Wyatt Olson, the 33 of Lila Judnick, the 62 of Daxton J., the 315 of Bryson McKevley, the 388 of Evan Bowerly, the 535 of Mason Doffing, the 708 of J.C. Carlson, the 939 of Everett Storley, and the 999 of Morgan Ruck. Looks like we got a Skidoo that's right out front already. And that would be the 62 of Daxton J., followed by the 535 and the 939. There is definitely a battle there of Everett Storley and Mason Doffing. But it looks like Everett went shooting by, and he's got some work to do, but trying to catch up to that leader. And I still see when they come into that turn before the stud boy hole shot area, a lot of those riders are struggling to make that turn. Everyone still seems to be going to the inside instead of coming from the outside of the track and cutting in, using that inside smooth line to make up some time. So once again, I don't have anybody coming up into the booth to get the swag. On site today, right here, is an Iron Dog competitor walking amongst you. You come up and tell me who that is, and I will give you a hat. We're trying to DC her, send her up, so I'm trying to get her. I told her she's coming up, so. All right, we got a winner already. We got a winner for that. The competitor walking amongst you that has raced multiple times in the Iron Dog is Leah Bauer. So being that Leah is here, it would sure be nice if we could get her up in the booth to have a little conversation about her experience in that race. With that being said, the checkered flag's flying for the 62 right there. Daxton J, followed by the 939 of Everett Storley and the 20 of Wyatt Olson. That's how they finish in the stock 120 heat, 9 to 12-year-olds. So that was the first heat. Heat number 2 is coming up right now. This is also going to be the 9 to 12-year-olds. They have gone green. The 13X of Blake Van Dam, the 17 of Auburn Owen, the 18 of Jace Jeske, the 68E of Evan Theisel, and also the 153 of Liam Polhill, the 311 of Leah Paulette, the 524 of Michael Rambo, the 545 of Hendrik De Bruin, and the 707 of Easton Norman are all green. This is our second heat of the stock 200s, 9 to 12. So that being said, I gave away some hats. I got to come up with some more snowmobile trivia because we got some swag to give away. These sleds are all 200cc snowmobiles. Tell me, now this would be a pretty easy one. What company was the first company to bring these to market? Now they're out there with all colors on them, but they're all made in the same factory. You can tell me who built the 200cc. I guess if I told you the name, it would give it away. So whose concept was this? What company? You tell me that, and I've got swag for you. Come up to the announcing booth, and I will let you have it. All right, the checkered flag is going to be flying, which means on the staging is going to be the 120 stock should be on the line, followed up by the 120 and the 200 open class. So finish line, the checkered flag was flying right there for the 13X of Blake Van Dam, followed by the second place buggy that came across, which was the 68E of Evan Theisel, and then also the 707 of Easton Norman. No. Good try, though. So you're ready to take this on? Okay. All right, so it looks like we have gone green now in the stock 120s. And the 120 class is going to be packed. So we got Colton Keifel, the 5X of Easton Green, the 25C of Clay Christensen, the 25B of Bowden Nelson, the 84X of Luca Jenkins, the 84 of Nico Jenkins, the 100 of Cash Johnson, We got one buggy that's down. It looks like they're going to get that rider upright and get him going. We also have the 623 of Mackenzie Rambo and the 905 of Willow Abraham. This is the 120 stock class. We have anywhere from 4 to 7-year-olds. So up here in the booth, we already had the trivia question and gave away some hats. And that trivia question was answered rather quickly because she's been running about here at ERX today. But want to just give a big thank you for coming up in the booth. Wanted to bounce a few questions off you, but it's the one and only cross-country racer, Iron Dog competitor, Leah Bauer.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
So what brought you to ERX today, Leah?
I'm actually here to help out Joe Duncan a little bit with Sunday Fun Day, as well as FXR. I am one of the social media managers for FXR, so just out here getting some content, hanging out, having a Sunday Fun Day.
Well, I know you haven't really had the opportunity to ride it all yet, have you?
Not yet. I think I've got maybe 140 miles on one of the sleds.
My God.
That's about it.
Oh my God, I've got you beat. One day we went to Tomah, Wisconsin and managed to put on 190 miles, and I think it was about 6 days later, it all melted.
Yep.
All the trails were closed.
We were probably down there at a similar time because that's where I was too.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we started, rode down toward, well, we weren't over completely by Reedsburg, but started just south of Tomah and made our way south from there.
Yep.
So it was awesome. I mean, that whole region with the way it's, what do they call it, the Kettle Moraine region?
Yep.
Just rolling hills. I mean, it's gorgeous riding.
It is. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm very used to riding up in northern Minnesota or the UP or northern Wisconsin.
Sure.
I think that's the first time ever that I've ridden in southern Wisconsin. It was very weird going south.
Right. Yeah, and we ran into other riders that had come up and said, at that particular time anyway, you could make it all the way down to Illinois.
Yes.
That's because the snow was good all the way
Yeah,
down.
it's crazy.
But then they got hit with the same weather that we did here.
Yep.
So that's what brought you to ERX. I mean, like one of the, sadly, the only places where there's this much snow.
I know.
Right
yeah.
now. So
it's very weird to look around and see the track, and everywhere else around it is just dirt, dead grass, brown. It's not ideal. It's not the best winter at all.
No, and it's also awkward because when you look out there, which you've been here before, but to see all the snowmobiles staged over there because people don't want to run them back into the pits where it's just all dirt, gravel, and rocks. So definitely a unique year for sure. Do you have any racing plans?
Well, we've got a couple core races left, so I'll probably be doing those. I might show up for the Ditch Banger. We'll see what happens. I always like to keep people guessing.
Really?
I don't like to commit. I just like to keep people guessing, so we'll see what happens. But got a couple options. I know the Levi Tri-5 is coming up.
Yep, so absolutely. That's a fun one. We've done that one several years.
We've got that in the works, and yeah.
You guys had a bit of bad luck there, I think, last year, right?
Well, I blame Zach, the millennial farmer. He's the one that wrecked everything. It wasn't me.
He actually was piloting it when it went south, right?
Yeah.
And wasn't it
He was
the front
on it.
end broke?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He was on it when it broke, so we're blaming him.
Okay. Yeah, that's always a great event, and it's kind of, like ERX, there's always the snow. They're doing that up at Giants Ridge this year, April 14th, I believe.
Yep.
So it's kind of, you're guaranteed. You're at a ski resort. Should be snow. Last year was, about 45 degrees.
And rain. Yeah, I remember it was raining.
I loved right down at the finish line. There was just like a huge hole, like 2 feet deep of water and
skipping.
slush. Yeah. I mean, it just added to the event. That's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, for sure.
You've done races here before as well, right?
I've done a couple of races. I've done a few of like the track days and just the fun stuff. I've not actually done a lot of racing here per se, but
the snowcross is not really.
Yeah, I'm not the snowcross type. I'm a little chicken of getting run into and run over and landed on. So
sure. Well, and cross country is more your forte, right? I mean,
yeah.
I feel you on that because I'm more of I need time and distance.
Yep.
Whereas the sprinting and the high flying of snowcross is not.
Right.
Doesn't fit my skill set as well.
Yep. I like to go 80 miles an hour across an open terrain and get
Sure.
some distance from people instead of banging bars right next to them.
Right. So that being said, let's go to the extreme end of that. Are you tackling the Iron Dog again? Do you feel that like I have to go back?
To be determined, but yes, that is the plan for next year.
Okay.
Is to go back.
Okay.
This year it didn't work out, which actually it was lucky that it didn't work out this year as far as my job and sponsorships. But it's really good that it didn't work out because I would have had 0 seat time, no
Yep.
training. There was nowhere for me to practice, and for me to go up to Alaska and just get on a sled and ride 2,600 miles.
Right.
It's not really what I'm looking to do. So.
Right. And it's interesting you say that because I had one of those last-ditch effort calls from a very good friend who's also, I think you probably know Steve Swenson and
Yep.
Bobby Menny who
Yes.
competed in it.
Yep.
And there was a local guy from here in Minnesota that his partner got hurt and needed someone last minute. And it was right before Thanksgiving. And I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's
Uh-huh.
do this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was right before Christmas. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, yes, that fits to my riding style and ability, but you don't just throw this together in like a week.
Yeah,
like
people-
you put
yeah.
effort, time, and planning into getting ready for that. And even then,
Still,
there is no guarantee.
There's no guarantee. Yeah, it's crazy. People don't realize how grueling it actually is. It's, on my first day of the Iron Dog, I was on a sled for 14 hours. I didn't eat. I had a little bit of water, and you gassed up and go. And you don't see people for hours
Right.
and hours, and it's gnarly. Like the first couple 100 miles, it's like a snowcross track.
Yeah.
It's brutal. So. It's not something that you can just say, oh, I'm just going to go do it and jump on the sled and ride because
Right.
there's cliffs, there's water skipping, we've encountered moose before.
Yep.
It's wild.
Well, and Steve told me, he goes, when we've ridden in northern Minnesota before, Steve and I have ridden a lot over the years. We've known each other a long time. But with that being said, we've ridden. He goes, when you're riding and you're like way up on the North Shore or something like that, and it's just dark, right?
Yeah.
And it's really dark. But he goes, you eventually see a light on the horizon,
Right.
or you see a house, or you see something. He goes, it's not like that.
Alaska's
he goes,
so
it is
much different.
pitch black, and it's like that for hours.
Yes.
There is nothing. There
There's
is
just
nobody.
nothingness, and it's so quiet. It's weird. It's just eerily quiet.
Sure.
Yeah, it's very strange.
But you're still destined. You want to go back.
I do.
Awesome.
I can't go out like that. And third time's a charm, hopefully.
Well, good luck. I wish you luck in that.
Yes, thank you.
So if it comes down to terrain racing, if you had to say what would be your favorite thing, are you more of like a bumps rider? Do you like the ice races, the sheer speed of an ice race, or is it more like ditches?
I like the ditches. I like Park Rapids. Park Rapids is my favorite because it's through the woods, and I grew up riding in the woods, so I'm super fast. I'm very, very spatially aware of where my skis are at. I'm not going to clip a tree. I know exactly where I'm going. I can go super fast, and not a lot of people have had that kind of training or riding.
Sure.
So I feel like I really excel at Park Rapids, and it's fun for me because I feel like I'm just out for a trail ride.
Yeah.
But the ditches are fun too. I've had my mishaps in the ditches, so every now and then I get a little sketched out. But
I think we all have.
Yeah, but yeah, so ice racing probably, it's not my favorite, but
Well, and
all part of
that's a whole different skill set that it's mental.
Yes.
Number one, to pitch a sled sideways into a turn and trust it. Once you get it figured out, it's really cool, but it's equally as exhausting.
It is. It's very much so. You wouldn't think so just by watching it, or if you've ever done it a little bit before. But it's we're out there, and it's a 10, 15 mile course, and you're doing 100 miles. It's a lot.
Sure.
But
Okay, so you are definitely more into the terrain side of it.
yes,
Okay. Not so much this year.
unfortunately not. Although there is a ski hill race at the end of the season with CORE. We're gonna go up to Mount Zion.
Oh, sure. That's a brand new one for them this year, isn't
I
it?
believe they did it last
Or last year was the
year
first?
as well. I missed it last year just because of the Iron Dog. Actually, the last 2 years I've missed CORE because of the Iron Dog. But so we'll hopefully be doing that one. Hopefully the weather will hold up, but I know they've been
Yeah.
making snow, so.
Well, and that's going to be my bid for you to come out and do the ditch bangers because at the end of the day, saddle time.
Right.
And the one thing you're guaranteed there is just going out and doing the qualifiers, even if you don't make a final, which I'm pretty sure you make a final, but it's just time in the saddle. right?
Exactly.
It's not on,
And it's fun.
It's not on your current sled, right?
Right.
It's going to be on something older, but
Yep.
yeah, it's fun. You're in, and the same thing with the Tri-5,
Right.
You just show up. It's all for charity.
Exactly.
It's fun.
Right.
I don't know if you know, a good friend of mine showed up there last year on like a 67 Colt dressed as Daisy Dew.
Oh my gosh.
He never even did a lap. Right? He
Yep.
went up to the starting line, and everybody took off, and he started the sled up and went right back to the trailer.
Yep. That was
Done.
that.
I did the Tri-5, and I'm
Yes.
like, you get it, man. That's
Yep.
what it's about.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good. We hope to see you out here February 24th for the Ditch Banger National.
Coming up fast.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the winter that never was. It's crazy that just, a few days ago we were out riding motorcycles. We went out to dinner on motorcycles, and I was just shaking my head going, this is not my preferred set of handlebars to be holding on
Right.
to.
Yeah, it's very strange.
But we'll be talking about it years and years from now that it's the winter that never started. So,
Yep, exactly.
by all means.
Oh, there goes my other phone.
We lost track. Which race number are we on? Thank you.
Yeah. That's a good question. It's not a question.
Kind of a big
I just have to have fun.
All right, so race number 9. I want to give a big thank you for Leah Bauer joining me up here in the booth. A little bit of stardom right here at ERX Motor Park Sunday Fun Day. So race number 9, it looks like we have the juniors 14 to 17 out there, as well as one soul that's the plus 30 snowcross class. Andrew Jenkins, and there was the checkered flag for the 526. That was Briar Schaefer. Green Concrete and U Motors are some of the sponsors from him, followed by the 383 of Ryan Bowerly and the 155 of Brody Esselman. That's going to move us into our 10th race. We have the transition class, 8 to 10-year-olds, and we have 2 races. So that's what's going to be coming up next. That brings out a great question, Leah. So you've been racing cross country a long time. What would be your first memory of a race? Not riding, but like a race.
Oh boy. I think the first race that I did was a regional snowcross race. I was in high school and I'd always wanted to race. My cousin Mike Bauer, if you remember him from the old snowcross days,
Yep.
he was on Arctic at the time, and he's like, yeah, jump on the sled, go ahead, take it for a rip. And so I signed up and did a race and scared the crap out of me.
So did you continue after that, or did you step back?
I did a couple, but it was not pretty, and I thought, this is not for me.
Sure.
And then from there I went to oval racing, ice ovals. I did a couple of those and also didn't like that. And so finally here I am at cross country and love it.
Okay, so then let's go further back. What was your first experience snowmobiling that would have led up to you loving cross country? 'Cause I'm going to say it was like sitting in front of one of the parents
Yes.
trail riding all day long.
Definitely with my dad. I was little, I was in the front, and I all day begged him, let me drive, let me drive. No, you're too young, you're too young. And well, we were sitting there talking, the sled was running, and I thought, well, here's my opportunity, I'm going to drive. So I took off. He flew
No way.
off the back, and I just kept going.
And the rest is done. That was
That's it.
Yep. So what was your earliest memory then of riding?
Probably that would probably be the earliest memory. We were up in the cabin and just riding around in the field, having a good time, catching some trails.
What age?
Oh boy, I was probably 6,
Okay.
7.
So you
somewhere in
started
there.
young.
Yep.
Yep. How about in the summertime? What would you do? Were you dirt bikes? Because I know now you do a lot of car racing in the summer, right?
Yeah, now I do car racing. I do a lot of wakeboarding, wake surfing. Super fun. Anything I
hooked.
can get my hands on, though. I mean, if somebody says come out and race side by sides, I'm there.
Sure.
Whatever opportunity I can get. But yeah, back when I was younger, I used to do a lot of the dirt bike stuff. I was always in the shop with my dad, so just kind of messing around on 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers, dirt bikes, things like that.
Sure, because you've done that with Pastrana too, right?
Yeah.
When they would have like the pit bike.
Yep.
What are they? I don't know. The pit bike
The pit bike
nationals
races,
or
yeah. So I used to work for Nitro Circus, and so I'm friends with all those guys. So it's kind of fun because every time they have something that's going on, they're like, hey, come on out, race the girls class. So
Sure.
It's super fun. I'm not good on 2 wheels, but I still have a blast.
Well, and there's another thing, right? That the 110s, it's more like Ditchbanger National or
Right.
something would be.
It's just something fun.
Show up and have fun.
Exactly.
And, you know, everyone's laughing at the end of the day. So, but I mean, obviously, like the people that really pure moto guys get on those things, it's
They
nuts.
rip. They're so fast. It's unreal.
Yeah, it doesn't even look normal.
Yeah.
The things they're doing with them. So,
Oh my God, look at that little kid. He's so tiny.
yeah, the 100 of Gabrick Guyan came across there and looked like did a bit of a whiplash move. I don't think that was intended, but Gabrick being 9 years old out there doing laps, which is awesome. We love to see it. And this class would be our transition. This is our second heat in our transition 8 to 10-year-olds. And then coming up next, folks, you're not going to want to miss this one, the Pro 206. So we take the little 120 sleds, and they're all running spec 206 Briggs & Stratton motors. The speed is definitely quicker. Your leader is the 68X of Aryan. You know what? He came up and corrected me on this too, and I'm already going to butcher it. Arlen Kenyon. Arlen Kenyon of Barnesville, Minnesota. And the reason it's so important is they have family watching from Orlando. And last night I managed to butcher the name multiple times. So Arlen Kenyon is your leader, having a great ride.
Pit bikes. Yeah.
Like the little 110s.
Yep.
All right, so that was the checkered flag for 68X of Arlen Kenyon out of Barnesville. And looks like the number 4, Knox Holzer in second, and the 100 of Gabrick Guyan coming along in third.
Love it. That's awesome.
So let's dip into a little bit of more with Leah Bauer. How about the car racing? So what class are you currently in?
So I race vintage, and it's called Group 2. So I have a 1962 MG Sprite, and my dad has a 1959 Bug Eye Sprite. So we are in a vintage class. They don't go super fast, but they're fun.
Sure, it's more of a driver's class,
Yeah.
then, right? Handling.
Right.
What? Yeah, you got to be like right in them. Okay, so what is the other classes you've tried then for car racing?
Basically, that's it. I've just been basically started racing my dad's car and got a car that was kind of similar to his so that we could race against each other. We used to co-drive the same car, and then I started to beat his lap times, and he didn't like that, so he kicked me out, and I had to get my own.
Dad's like, let's get Leah into car racing, and the next thing you know, the lap times are less, and he's like, wait, let's not get Leah into car racing. This is bad.
Oh, it's been a battle. Every summer we just battle, and it's funny because we keep shaving off our lap times. And so our home track is Road America, which is about
Sure.
4 hours from us. And each year it's like we get faster and faster because we're just battling and trying to beat one another. So we keep breaking our own track records for that track.
That's impressive. Well, and when it's a driver's class like that, where it's not horsepower, right? It's driving. That's hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
You're finding these little edges here and there just to make that difference. So
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's fun because you get to learn the track, and I know Road America just got repaved in some spots.
Sure.
So it's a completely different race now because the line that I thought I used to take is no longer the line. You have to figure out a different line because you'll hit a slick spot and almost spin, and it's like, okay, don't do that on the next lap.
Sure. What other tracks have you raced at then other than Road America?
I've raced at BIR up in
Yep.
Brainerd. I've raced at Blackhawk Farms in Illinois.
Yeah, been there.
There's a couple tracks in Michigan across the lake that I've been to. But basically, that's kind of it.
Okay. So let's switch gears then from car racing. Have you ever considered or been invited to try the Sioux?
I have. I've had conversations about the Sioux. I always thought it was. I always thought it was super interesting. I thought it was a really cool race, but I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I'd be able to hang on that long and just turn left. I think
Yeah.
it would be really hard. I think that I might not get bored with it, but I'd want to do something more than just hit
Well-
bumps, and feel like I'm dying.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I've talked to multiple guys that have finished that race, and I mean, you know, people half my age that even say, yeah, when that's over, like I'm always looking at myself going, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's horrible. I'm never going back.
It's grueling.
And like a month goes by and they're in the shop building next year's sled.
Right.
Right? They just keep... Okay, we got to ride her off. All right, folks, we're gonna just get red flag out here, and we're gonna get our crew over to tend to them. We have volunteers there right away. Make sure everything is okay. Safety is of the utmost importance here at ERX, and we never want to see anybody get hurt. So, not sure what happened there. If he maybe got bumped and didn't grab a hold of the brake quick enough, but the sled kind of went off that first turn, and hopefully everything's okay. We're just gonna hold off on any more racing here and deal with what the priority is to make sure everyone's safe. We'll be right back with you. Great. Like you say, I was like, oh, I'm blessed. Yeah. All right, we are back, racing again. Here we are, ERX at the Sunday Fun Day where the white flag is flying. And it looks like what I'm seeing is trying to figure out which class. 'Cause I think I may have moved the sheet out of the way too soon. It looks like the 526 of Breyer Schaefer. Yeah, the 526 of Breyer Schaefer is your winner, followed by the 155 of Brody Esselman and the 717 of Noah Nanke. So now we've gone green in the 440, 600, 2000. Well, I'm sorry, this is 98 to 07. So we got the 14 of Eston Bishman, the 17 of Gary Rude, the 26 of Zach O'Mara, the 45 of Caden Anderson, 54 of Tucker Anderson, the 68 of Peyton Smith, the 77 of Ethan Leach, the 95 of Aaron Patton, the 393 of Mitchell Fruth. And it looks like the 95 of Aaron Patton is out there running good. Got a good hole shot, and he's out front. Buggy, which is running good. Aaron was running good with that last night as well. Aaron Patton out there out of Cedar, Minnesota. Kind of got hung up coming in there and got past. A lot of riders struggling with that turn where they're coming in and getting into the, I guess, fluff, so to speak. It's really not that fluffy. It's more slushy. But what we got going is he's going to come across the line now, and the checkered flag will be flying for Aaron Patton, who got passed now by the 45 was your winner, and that was Caden Anderson that took it from Aaron. We have gone green in race number 16. 3 buggies out there on the track. We have Jaeger Cortez, the 716 of Jory Cortez, and the 732 of Terry Luminen out of Barnum, Minnesota, which means our 17th race needs to be on the line. That is going to be Junior Ditch Banger 10 to 13. They need to be in staging, and then race number 18 is Junior 10 to 13 as well. So your current leader, the Mexican Connection, Jaeger Cortez, followed by his sister from the same mother, Jory Cortez, and that Yamaha coming up in third, sponsored by TMZ Performance and Nemadji River Riders, whereas the Cortez duo, sponsored by PB Blaster, which is very handy at getting those rusty bolts taken out, CRC Brake Clean, Gum Out, and Seafoam. Because what says racing more than a can of Seafoam in the tank? So Jaeger coming across the track, hitting the berms, sled's running good. And the next time around, they will see the checkered flag, which means they got them lined up for the Junior Ditch Banger 10 to 13. All right, the checkered flag flying for one half of the Mexican Connection, and there comes the other, the Cortez duo. Top 2 in the Ditch Banger Twins class. And they have gone green now in the Junior Ditch Banger. So 10 to 13-year-olds out there. Looks like we got the 5, Casey Wallace, the 6, Paige Wallace, the 7, and Chase Wallace. It's the Wallace Trio. 25W of Weston Christensen, the 59 of Lyric Knighton, the 77 of Ryan Brandell, 77 of Aaron Patton, and the 521 of Julia Olson. It's lighter weight without that anyway, don't worry. Came across the front room and now it's trapped and flipping off. Do you see it? I'd say just throw it in the trunk so you've got a spare. right, so on the line, juniors 10 to 13, heat 1. Juniors, we're going to have the 27 of Lane Weiss, the 52 of Brock Madsen, 133 of Maddie Anderson, the 415 of Avery Hemmer, the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, and the 814 of Kyra Hassler. You might want to watch this one, folks. These might be 10 to 13-year-olds, but there is no doubt they know how to use a throttle. You're going to see a fast race here. Several of these names I've been announcing out here for years at ERX, so there's a lot of experience, even though the age says there isn't. Yeah. All right, it looks like coming across the line first, we got the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, followed by Avery Hemmer. So on the line, we're going to have race number 19, the juniors 10 to 13. That's going to be the second heat. That's going to be race 19. So on the track currently, the 18th race, and it is the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, followed by Avery Hemmer. And Avery's definitely watching Diedrich's moves, knowing the white flag's coming out. How's Avery going to get by? How do I make this happen? And they're going to try an inside line here. Nope, that ain't going to do it. So your leader, Diedrich Schwann, coming out of Box Elder, South Dakota. Avery making the move right here, coming up alongside. And I would say Avery did it. Let's see, you're going to go to the inside. Wants to see that checkered flag first. And Avery Hemmer managed on the last lap to pull it off. Good riding right there by Avery, followed by Diedrich and the 27th of Lane Weiss. So that puts us into race number 19, which is juniors 10 to 13. This is going to be the second heat. And we have the 256 of Drew Bowerly, the 311 of Peyton Weisbrod, the 519 of Mason Prien, the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt. They've gone green, the 824 of Brecken Peterson, and the 952 of Jackson Rath. All right, so that was 10 to 13-year-olds out there once again, and then on the line is one of my favorites, the Ditch Bangers, race number 20. And it looks like the 256 of Drew Bowerly is in first, and the 952 of Jackson Rath coming up behind. I should, but I'm... Euro. Yeah, there's yours. All right, white flag's flying. It's the 256, Drew Bowerly. And it looks like the 952 of Jackson Rath. Trying to chase him down and keep him honest right there. And then the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt in third. Eleanor's got that bright pink pants and the pink skis to match. I like that outfit. It's good looking. Matches the buggy. They're going to be coming around seeing that checkered flag this time around, and then we're going to get into the Ditch Bangers. That's right. They're coming up next, the 90 to 99 Ditch Bangers. Checkered flag flying for that 256 of Drew Bowerly, followed by the 952 of Jackson Rath and the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt in third. Race number 20's gone green. These guys bang ditches. We got the 7 of Grayson Baxter, the 25 of Mitchell Gross, the 32 of Nash Unzi, the 77 of Aaron Patton, the 83 of Chris Spicer, the 97 of Jack Lutreneau, the 147 of Gabe Godin, the 198 of Brecken Bishop, the 623 of Mike Collette, and the 732 of Terry Lomanen. There's Brecken Bishop making that extra 12, earn its gate. The 7 of Grayson Baxter in second. And then the Arctic Pat, the 83 of Chris Spicer in third. In fourth place, looks like we got the 244. Maybe I saw that wrong, so I don't see that on my sheet. I might have saw that. So on the line, our 21st race, which is transition 8 to 12. We're going to have 2 heats of that. They are on the line. Currently on the track, about to see that white flag, is going to be race 20. And there is Brecken Bishop doing things with an extra 12 it was never intended to do. Followed by the 7 of Grayson Baxter. And that ZR hot on his tail. The 83 of Chris Spicer out of Saginaw, Minnesota, sponsored by Cast Iron. Next time around, they're going to see that checkered flag. And there it is, Brecken Bishop, the 198, taking the win. The 83 of Chris Spicer just eked out the number 7 of Grayson Baxter. That was a heck of a race right there. That was our 20th race. Now we're on to race number 21, transition 8 to 12. We're going to have 2 heats. These are big classes. The number 4 of Knox Holzen, 15X of Big Schmitz, the 27 of Wayne Weiss, the 88 of Colton Wynn, the 156 of Caleb Polehill, the 189 Noah Gillis, the 200 of Wyatt Olson, 314 of Bryson McEvoy, the 713 Nick Gunn Green, Regan Trafford, and then is the 824 of Brecken Peterson. I believe that is Caleb, if I saw that correctly, that might have jumped out front. It is. It was Caleb out front, the 156. But he had some competition. His fellow Thunder Bay competitor, 713 of Regan Trafford. So your first and second place riders came out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. Your current leader sponsored by Halfway Motors Power Sports, Great North Graphics, SJ Glass, Twin City Tile, FXR, Louis Studboy, and CD Pro Skis. They will be coming around seeing that white flag this time around. And there it is. Regan Tayford seeing the white flag, followed by the 156 of Caleb Polo and Noah Gillis in third. Yeah. And there's the winner, 713, followed by the 189 and the 156 of Caleb Cole taking up the third. And that's going to get us into our next heat, the 22nd race, which is transition 8 to 12. Once again, this is a packed class. We're going to let the last few riders get off the track. We got the 052 of Brock Madsen, the 68X of Arlen Kenyon, the 415 of Avery Hammer, the 519 of Mason Brienne, the 621 of Diedrich Schwab, The 811 of Eleanor Schmidt. The 814 of Kyra Hassler. The 952 of Jackson Rath. And the 973 of Wyatt Stressy. Some fast names, and here they go. They got the green. Looks like right away Avery Hemmer got out there. And the 952 of Jackson Rath just eked it out in front. I see Avery already picking lines, trying to go inside, outside, and get around. All right, they got the green flag coming across the finish line. Avery Hemmer into the lead with the 952 of Jackson Rath in second. And it looks like the 68X of Arlen Kenyon in third. This is the transition class, 8 to 12-year-olds, which means up next is going to be the Ditch Bangers, 2000 to 2009 models coming to the line. Here, dude. You can have some. You like these? Eat some. All right, that white flag flying. Next time around, you're going to see the checkered, and here it is. Avery Hemmer seems to be a trend forming here, coming across the line in first. The 952 of Jackson Rath out of Elko New Market in third. And the 052, I believe it was, Brock Madsen coming in third. And now, if you like to bang ditches, these are your people right here. Ditch Bangers. The 002 of Brandon Bishop. The 4Z of Alex Forsland. The 7 of Grayson Baxter. The 26 of Zach O'Hara. 77 of Ethan Reach. The 95 of Aaron Patton. The 128 of Aaron O'Rourke. The 198 of Brecken Bishop. The 716 of Jory Cortez, and the 731 of Jagger Cortez. They are all on the line. This is just like a preview. Some of these buggies are a little bit older, but they'll be at the Ditch Banger National on February 24th. It's another race you don't want to miss here at ERX Motor Park. You know, Jagger just kind of came shooting out. And when he gets hole shots like that, it's always a sign that taco sales have been good, because he hasn't been eating tacos, meaning there's less ballast, and he gets great hole shots. It's kind of a family tradition. The Cortez family's been here at ERX Motor Park the better part of 30 years, even before ERX existed. So Jagger's out front right now. He's got a comfy lead, and it looks like they were mixing it up there for who's going to take second. We got some tail standing and paint swapping going on. And I think that maybe Brecken Bishop, I'll have to see as he comes by. But Jagger Cortez right there, fresh out of Mexico. Got that Ski-Doo running well. He doesn't even have his green card yet. The 198 of Brecken Bishop in second, and the 95 of Aaron Patton in third. This is it. Last lap. Checkered flag flying for Jagger Cortez as he was trying to do a heel clicker there. It was more like a tank clicker. The 198. Brecken Bishop in second in the 95. Baron Patton in third. That's our ditch bangers. But folks, I want you to be ready. Now we're going to get rid of all these little measly 2-cylinders that were running around the track and bring out the man sleds, the triples. Because, you know, you need that extra cylinder to really make an impact. And by the impact, I mean the front bumper augering into jumps. You need that third cylinder for that. So what we got is a Yamaha versus Polaris battle. The 68 of Peyton Smith out of Montevideo, Minnesota, who's 19 on a Polaris. The 96X of Brighton Summer out of Danbury, Wisconsin, on a Yamaha, who's 19. The 321 of David Olson out of Montevideo on a Polaris, he is 18. And the 733 of Derek Bartz out of Moose Lake, Minnesota on a Yamaha. Oh, I'm seeing one Yamaha not there on the line. Hold on. I see, he's trying to get up to the, there he goes. That was his tactic. I'm gonna make these guys wait. And hopefully they'll foul a plug on one of their 3 cylinders before we start. So we got them lined up. These are the ditch banger triples, folks. And there they go. In a plume of 2-stroke smoke. Green flag is the first one across the line. The 96X. That would be Braxton Summer taking a Yamaha. I think that must be like a Mountain Max. The thing I like about that is, A, it's a Mountain Max. It was never meant for snowcross, so it's perfect. Let's bring it out on the track. Why not? The second thing I love is it has a rack on the back. So, you know, he can swing into the store on his way home and grab his favorite beverage and carry it with him. He takes it off for racing, of course. He doesn't want that extra weight advantage, but either way, he's leading this race, and he's the first one to see the white flag. That's the 96X of Brighton Summer out of Danbury, Wisconsin, being followed by the 068 of Peyton Smith, running an extra 12 with a triple in it, of course. And the next race is purely just a comedy show, okay? It's the 2-up race. Like, who doesn't want to go and race 2-up on snowcross? The checkered flag flying right there. That's your winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That would be the 96X of Brighton Summer and Peyton Smith and the 321 of David Olson. That's how they finish in the ditch banger triple. Because they bang ditches. Sunday Fun Day here at ERX Motor Park. Thank you, folks, for coming on out. We appreciate it more than you believe. We can't make this happen without you. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins. Heck, bring the cat. Your family cat would love to come here and watch this. Maybe they'll tell their friends. But we have gone green flag racing in race 25. That's right. If you look out there, you'll see 2 people aboard each sled. So here's the rules. You go out and you do 2 laps. Our highly trained and partially blind flagmen will put out a yellow flag and force them off the track back to the starting line, where they will switch. The passenger will now drive the sled and perform another 2 laps before our almost completely blind flagman will reach for, by braille of course, the checkered flag to wave that to let them know they have won. So right now that is the same sled that just won the last race out there, the 96X of Brighton Summer. I see the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt, the 624, which is not even on here, and the 100 of Gabrick Guyan. Mexican heritage from Germany.
You look good on you, Grandpa.
Where's this one? Oh, did they? Did she go get it? Abby? Oh. She would have got me this in like a couple minutes. Oh. Yeah. I know. Yep. You've been slaying. All right. Yeah. One more lap in either one. Right. 40 grand. All right, that checkered flag is in our flagman's hands. Now remember, folks, the only reason he knows that's a checkered is when he grabs the stick itself. There's braille. He's actually blind, and then he listens for the snowmobile, so he knows that that was the 811 because we tell him in the mic. Otherwise, that's Eleanor Schmidt that took the win, that came across the line, and that would mean that we have finished up the second round of 25 races here at ERX Motor Park Sunday Fun Day. And we want to give a big thank you to everybody for coming on out. We're going to touch up the track. Feel free to come on into the Motor Park Chalet, get yourself something to eat. Make sure you get your announcer something to drink because, whew, I'm getting awfully dry up here, and nothing like an announcer that's dry. Can't, you know, it's hard. We have to go into a worker slowdown if that occurs. So feel free to come on in, have a chat, take a rest, and we will get back to racing in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Freight is the backbone of the country, and as long as people need goods, they're going to need somebody to get it to them. My name is Matt Bohl with QualityFreightRate.com, powered by T-Force Worldwide. We provide LTL, truckload, and expedited freight services across this country. If your freight weighs over 120 pounds going over 120 miles, that's where my shipping rates kick in. We help companies ship easier for less. With our system, our customers are able to quote and book shipments with ease 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're having trouble with damages, lost freight, claims of any sort, we can help you with our experience, solve the problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years. We know this industry. We can help all size business, big or small. We love them all. But we have a special spot for small business. Small businesses are pillars in the community. Low rates are critical for a small business because the margins are generally pretty small. They need to have competitive rates. They can't be getting gouged or they lose the sale. Freight is simple. People make it difficult. We work as consultants in the industry, so it doesn't matter what your problem is, we'll solve it. We educate the customers, we solve problems, and we lower their shipping rates. And that's what I've been doing for 20 plus years.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers that certified Angus beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected. So this whole operation here, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but it needs to have passion. And today, I'm changing lives of people that work with me. My guys are learning lifelong skills and values. That's the good stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's have a good time at it.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
And here we are again for a Sunday fun day at ERX Motor Park. Making dreams happen, creating future champions. Starting with this right here, right now. The junior girls under 200 class. 3 9-year-olds out there doing battle on a perfectly groomed track. Beautiful sunny day. I don't know. I didn't look at my phone. It's got to be 30-ish degrees out there. 37. I stand corrected. 37 degrees. And we have them coming across the finish line. It looks like your leader took it. The 7:08 of J.C. Carlson was followed by the 1:79 of Emmy Simonson and the 3:11 of Leah Paulette in second. Moving us on into the 120 improved stock class. This is our second race. We got the 88 of Chase Reinhofer, the 216 of Carter Lang, the 5:17 of Noah Abraham, and the 7 1/4 of Owen Halada. So it looks like the leader is the 88 of Chase Reinhofer. The second is being Carter Lang, running the 216 buggy, just getting shuffled back into third. Now Carter's got a little work to do if he wants to get that back. Looks like the 5:17 of Noah Abraham kind of got by him there. So that means on the line we're going to have the stock 200s. They're up next. There's going to be 2 heats of stock 200. There's plenty of those. You know, and I got to tell you, folks, some of you might not be as obsessed by the snowmobile as I, but this next class up, the 200s, this is something that didn't even exist years back. I asked a trivia question earlier, and no one's answered. So look at all those sleds on the line. They're all colors, right? The stock 200. What manufacturer brought that concept to market first? Oh, somebody gets a free hat because they just answered the question. But these are all 200s, so this class didn't even exist years ago, and you didn't even have the opportunity to pile 4 of them into the first turn like they are right now. So years back, you know, you would go from a 120 to like a mod 120, and then it was kind of like there was really no middle ground. So these 200s have been a huge step forward. I know we owned one a few years. We bought one of the first 2000. Boy, what was that thing, Gray? 2018, I think? 19? We had a little Snow Scoot 200 and just loved the thing. They are a hoot to ride. And it looks like what we've got is the 20 of Wyatt Olson is out in first. The 62 of Daxon J, and then Morgan Ruck is who is in third. So just so everyone's aware, this concept came from Arctic Cat to design these machines, and now they actually just privately license the same machines. Some have yellow, they're called Skidoos. Some are blue, they're called Yamahas, but they're all the same thing. The Arctic Cats are mini ZRs, the Yamahas are the Snow Scoots, and the Skidoos are mini Zs. I'm sorry, MXZs, 200s. But there's your winner. The 20 is Wyatt Olson, followed by the 62 of Daxon J. And then the 999 of Morgan Ruck. Now they're speeding up. Race number 4. This is our second heat of the stock 200s. Once again, this is a packed class, which is great to see because these are all going to be future snowcrossers. They're already starting. Group you're about to see get out there right now, there's a 7-year-old all the way to an 11-year-old. right, they're getting ready to go green, and while they're doing so, the next race and staging is going to be the 120 stock. You're going to need to make your way to the line. That will be race number 5, and then race 6 and staging is going to be the 120 champs and the 206s. I'm sorry, the 200 opens. But right now, what we're running is another heat of the stock 200s. This will be their 3rd race of the night, of the day. Night, day, it all fades in. So a big thank you to everybody for coming out here today to the ERX Motor Park for the Sunday Fun Day. Also, when you get a chance, when you walk through the Motor Park Chalet, make sure you give a big thank you to not only the volunteers when you see them that are out there working the track or working inside the chalet. Make sure you go find Joe Duncan and give him a big old hug and a thank you for coming up with the Sunday Fun Day and giving you this opportunity to come out and race and get in laps upon laps upon laps upon laps. Thank you to Joe Duncan for putting this together. Thank you to all the fans, the family, and everybody that comes out and participates in the racing. Without you, we couldn't do it. And once again, thank you to ERX Motor Park for providing a facility that is second to none for coming out and racing your snowmobiles on the winter that never started in February of 2024, to have a place where you actually need to wear your snow boots because there's snow. So the winner right there was the 13X of Blake Vandam, followed by the 524 of Michael Rambo, and I think it was the 68E that might have got it, the Evan Theisel, which puts us into the 120 stock. Why don't you go through the list of names in 120 stock racing? Looks like the number 5. Colton Keifel, the 5X Easton Green, the 25C of Clay Christensen, the 25B of Bowden Nelson, the 84X of Luca Jenkins, the 84 of Nico Jenkins. It's like a Jenkins duo. The 100 of Cash Johnson, the 215 of Clay Lang, 623 of Mackenzie Rambo, and this 905 of Willow Abraham. How is it? Is it bad? You like? Is it? So they're going to come across the line. The white flag's flying. This is the 120 stock. It looks like the 100 of Cash Johnson. It's got some serious heat coming from Mackenzie Rambo. And there's definitely a battle for 3rd between a Cat and Polaris. The battle seems to be at right around 9.5 to 10 miles per hour, which is flat out, by the way. All right, so on the line, we're going to have the 120 champs and the 200 opens to be on the line. And in staging, we're going to do the stock. Oh, hold on, I got the wrong sheet there. What the sheet? Stock 200 will be in staging. But on the line, we're going to have the 120 champ and the 200 open. Checkered flag flying for the 100 of Cash Johnson out of Brooklyn Park, sponsored by Sunday Fun Day, Minneapolis Motorsports, St. Bonnie Motorsports, the ERX Motor Park, and Playstead Pulling. That was your winner in the stock 120s. Which brings us to the 120 champs and 200 opens. And I'd just like to say this word, mods. That's what we got going around the track now. This is going to be mod sleds. All right, we got a green flag in race number 6. And it looks like I can see already the 9. Well, it's a 9. I think that is the 989 of Tyler Custodio. Oh, it's the 999. It's Parker Ruck. So he's definitely at a CC disadvantage because that's a 120 champ sled. Just about every other part of it other than maybe the grips is not stock. And here he comes, Parker Ruck on the 999, followed by the 20, Wyatt Olson, and the 989 of Tyler, as Phil Collins would say, Custodio. Something like that. Sorry, folks, it's been a while. My eyes are fading. What a beautiful day here at the ERX Motor Park. On the line, the stock 200s. We're going to have a couple of heats of the stock 200s. And that is your winner, Parker Ruck. Took the win, followed by the 929, flying the stars and stripes on that buggy. That's Walter Stressy. And the 20, Wyatt Olson. And the 989 of Tyler Susudio coming across the line. Now we're into another stock 200, ages 4 to 8. Piling them up in that first corner again. Look at our flaggers, just Johnny on the spot. Got that sled back upright. Rider's okay, get the tether in. Hearing some radio chatter that Caleb Reinhofer, the 21 buggy, got the hole shot for the Stud Boy Hole Shot Award. They're going to be coming around seeing the white flag. This is the stock 4 to 8 200 class. There's your leader. Feet moving all about. That is Caleb Reinhofer, followed by the 62 of Daxton J. And the 910 of Henrik Storley. And there's your winner, the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, rolling across the line. Caleb sponsors Premier Rigs, Renegade Truck Equipment, 5-Star Plumbing and Heating, and Ram. That brings us to 200 stock, ages 4 to 8. This is our second heat. They've gone green. The 10 of Brantley Lambrecht, the 37 of Nixon Jutnik, the 88 of Grayson Forsyth, the 122 of Carson May, the 216 of Carter Lang, the 320 of Jackson Bauer, the 524 of Michael Rambo, the 738 of Edison Cook, Frankie Cook on the 739, and the 999 of Parker Ruck. Parker putting in some overtime here today. Back-to-back races. The advantage there is, at their young age, Parker's only 8 years old. They really don't know what the word fatigue is, so he goes out there having an advantage of knowing the track. 10 of Brantley Lambrecht, the first one across the line. Brantley's got support from BCM Racing LLC, Nitro Lubricants, MP, Next Level, and Heinens. That is your leader, the 10 of Brantley Lambrecht. Looks like the 37 of Nixon Judnick and the 216 of Carter Lang in tow. Don't let it happen again. That's what she said? Yeah, coming back. Okay, your winner is the number 10, Brantley Lambrecht, 37, and Nixon Judnick in second, and the 524, Michael Rambo in third. That's how you finish the stock 200. Juniors, anywhere from 14 to 17. Oh, somebody jumped the gun. Make them start backwards. Get them turned around and lined up again. So we're going to have the juniors 14 to 17 lined up. And who's racing this one, Jen?
155 is Brody Elsman.
Esselman.
Esselman. 198 is Brecken Bishop. 383 Ryan Bowerly. 712 Lane Peterson. 526 Briar Schaefer. And 221 is Andrew Jenkins.
Wow, your announcing skills are next level. Looks like Ryan Bowerly, I'm getting some chatter, got the Stud Boy Hole Shot Award on that one, the 383, who's still out front, getting chased down by the 526 buggy of Briar Schaefer. Briar came under, great move, kind of pinched him off. See, remember, these are only 14 to 17-year-olds, but they ride far beyond what that number says. Next up on the line is going to be transition 8 to 10. We're going to have 2 heats of transition. There's the 526 coming across the line and flat landed. Briar Schaefer completely missed the finish line, just landed her flat. There's your winner, the 526. Brian Schaefer, sponsored by Prien Concrete and U Motors. Transition. We got 2 heats of transition. Thanks, Abby. All right, transition 8 to 10, the 13X of Blake Van Dam, the 21 of Tanner Thompson, the 156 of Caleb Polil, the 189 of Noah Gillis, the 314 of Bryson McEvely. Your leader is the 173. Did I read that right? Nope. The 713, Regan Trafford's your leader from Thunder Bay, Ontario. All right, coming across the line, see that white flag. That's Regan Trafford. He's got Diedrich Schwann in tow. And then it looks like Blake Van Dam is in third, but Blake's got some competition trying to push them around the corners a little bit and make their way by. And did right there on the front side of the Majestic Pumper Pond. So the finish is going to be different than what we just saw in their last time by. Looks like Regan Trafford's your winner, the 621 of Diedrich Schwann. And your third place buggy is the 156 of Caleb Polil out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. Both of those Thunder Bay buggies on the podium. Bringing us to transition heat 2. We have Knox Holzer out there on the 4. Brantley Lambrecht on the 10. 67X Chase Kenyon. 68X Arlen Kenyon. The 100 of Gabrick Guyan. The 123 of Calvin Messer. And the 707 of Easton Norman. So it's the 68X of Arlen Kenyon, followed by the number 4 of Knox Holzer. Arlen's got a fan club from all the way down in Florida. And your third place buggy is Gabrick Guyan. Once again, this is the transition 8 to 10-year-olds. Up next is going to be the Pro 206. All right, the 68X coming across the line. That's Arlen, followed by the number 4 of Knox Holzer, and the 100 Gabrick Guyan in third. Next time around will be their checkered flag a-waving. All right, 68X, that was Arlen Kenyon that took the win. The number 4 of Knox Holzer in second, and the 100 of Gabrick Guyan in third. That puts us on to the mods. These things are all the Pro 206 class. So these are 120 sleds with a spec motor. They're all the same 206cc Briggs & Stratton motor. We got the 13, they've gone green. Blake Van Dam, the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, the 25K of Cashton Nelson, 33 of Lila Judnick, the 37 of Nixon Judnick, 55 of Zane Thames, and the 106 of Keegan Ellis. The 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, your early leader. Caleb followed by the 13X of Blake Van Dam. There's your winner, the 21 of Caleb Reinhofer, 13X, Blake Van Dam, followed by the 33 of Lila Judnick. We have got, whoa, we got a rider off. It's that Leafer sled. So it's Douglas Summer, Show Lake, Wisconsin. Either way, this is our junior ditch banger, and on the line, we're going to need junior open. Of Bailey Strissi out of Elko New Markets, your leader. The 96 of Douglas Summer chasing him down. Douglas, second time off. You know, Doug, if you just want to take a break right there, just kind of, you know, enjoy the scenery, cheer on your competitor maybe, that's up to you. All right, crowd, give him a round of applause. Hey, he's out there on the leaf spring sled. one of the few we even saw today. He's kind of a hero in my book just for doing that alone. A white flag for the 942 of Bailey Stressy. Bailey just considered that a checker and rolled off. Okay, that's going to move us right into the next round. All right, now we're on to the Junior Open. This is race 14, a 155 Brody Esselman, 383, and Ryan Bowerly, the 415, Avery Hemmer, the 526, and Briar Schaefer, the 712, and Wayne Peterson, the 717, Noah Navy. Sounds from what I'm hearing, Noah, 717, sponsored by New Finish Concrete, T&K Ag, CHS Ag, Christian Cars Online, got the whole shot and is currently in the lead, being chased down by the 383 of Ryan Bowerly and the 526 of Briar Schaefer. White flag for the 717 and Noah Nathy. Great line Noah has. He actually dove into that, as well as third place rider Briar Schaefer. Came off that finish line and dove right into the first turn on the back side of that little kicker bump. Checkered flag flying the 717 of Noah. 383 Ryan Bowerly out of Sauk Rapids. 526 of Briar Schaefer. That brings us on to the 440 and 600. So we have anything out there from 1998 to 07. Looks like the 17 of Gary Rude is your early leader. Gary just got shuffled. We got yellow flags flying and we got a rider stuck over there in the right next to the Majestic and not very full pumper pond. Track is cleared. They're coming around to see the white flag on the 6'6", 6'8", I'm going to say, of Peyton Smith. I like Peyton's numbers right there on the windshield. They got out the old white tape and said, here, let's make a number. So that works, I can see it. Peyton just got that edge just plowing her around the track. We'll see the checkered flag this time around. Peyton Smith out of Montevideo, 19 years old, is your winner, followed by the 17 of Gary Rude. 77 of Ethan Leach. Which puts us into the Ditch Banger Twins. And I don't see everyone lining up. We're making good time. Race 17 right here. Ditch Bangers, 10 to 13 years old at the Sunday Fun Day here at ERX Motor Park. And the Stud Boy Hole Shot Award goes to the number 25W of Weston Christensen out of Princeton, Minnesota. 11 years old. He's skidooing, eh? Folks, as we see some of these riders, you know, loading up and heading out, I just want to make sure everyone remembers a big thank you to everybody for showing up here at Sunday Fun Day and supporting ERX Motor Park and the Sunday Fun Day. Give a big thank you when you get the chance. You need to buy parts or whatever you have to do to keep your sleds going. Try to frequent our sponsors and spend money with them. They're the people supporting you and supporting our sport, especially on winters like this, because it's the one that has failed to start. Failure to launch would be what we could call the winter of 2024. So make sure when your businesses and are needing your support, because they're supporting you, just take a look at all the banners around here at ERX's Fun Day, Sunday Fun Day, and make sure to try to frequent them whenever you can, because they're going to be the ones that are giving back to you. The white flag's flying, and that's still the 25W, as well as we have the 77. I'm trying to figure out, I think that might be Aaron Patton. Hard to say, we have two 77s out there. But this is just a preview of what you're going to see here on February 24th. All these ditch bangers, they're going to be out here laying down lap after lap. Checkered flag will be coming out this time around for the 20. Oh, the 77 got by. And I think, it's hard to say, I think that was Aaron Patton. Which puts us into race 18 on the line. Now this will be a fast one, folks, so be ready. These are juniors, anywhere from 10 to 13 years old. The 27 of Lane Weist, the 052 of Brock Madsen, the 133 of Maddie Anderson, 415 of Avery Hemmer, the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, and the 814 of Kyra Hassler. They've gone green. And it looks like it's the 27 of Lane Weist and the 621 of Diedrich Schwann. But the whole shot went to Lane Weist, the 27 sled. Okay, well then don't. Finley. The 27 buggy coming across the line. Yep. It's done. Oh, yeah. Checkered flag flying. Your winner was the 27 Elaine Weiss, the 621 of Diedrich Schwann, and the 052 of Brock Madsen. That's how they finished the junior 10-13 Heat 1. Meaning race number 19 is on the line. This is junior heat. Junior 10-13 Heat 2. 4 sleds out there. Even though I have more than that on my sheet. So Drew Bowerly took the whole shot there. He is your current leader. But it looks like Eleanor Schmidt giving him a run for the money, trying to take an outside line. Didn't work out this time, but that doesn't mean Eleanor's done trying. And the 952 in the meantime is creeping up on her. So Jackson Rath in the mix, shuffled up into second. All right, white flags flying. That would be the 256 of Drew Bowerly out of Sauk Rapids. Sponsors are Fly Racing, Digital Inc., Stud Boy, CNA Pro, Rock, Speed FX, and Central Hydraulics. That is your leader, Drew Bowerly, the 256. And it looks like Jackson Rath is in second out of Elko New Market, sponsored by UP Cycle and Sport. And that is exactly how they finish. They come across with Bowerly, Rath, and Schmidt. Meanwhile, we are on the 20th race. This is concluding. We're finishing up the night. This is Ditch Banger. So oftentimes we start off this class with a lot of machines, and as the day progresses, there's not as many machines, mainly because of the age and the abuse they go through. But the 25 just taking over the lead. That's Mitchell Gross out of Princeton on his Arctic Cat. That second place rider is the 244, which I don't have on my scoring sheet. All right, white flag flying for your 25, Mitchell Gross. Just skying that thing up. The 97 coming across in third of Jack Letourneau out of Lindstrom, sponsored by Bikeman, Mom and Dad, Nash Hunzi, and My Wallet. I like it. Once again, folks, we're only a few weeks away. February 24th, right here at ERX Motor Park, the Ditch Banger National. And these will be the same heroes you see, except one of them just went from hero to zero. You passed under a yellow. Can't be doing that. So there's going to be some shuffling of the finishing positions based on that. Which brings us into race number 21, transition 8 to 12. They're on the line. We're just getting one buggy off the track over there by the majestic and not very full pumper pond. Sometimes what we do in this situation is if the sled fires, they'll just run it into the pumper pond and worry about it in the spring. I see at this point this guy chose to actually drive it off on its own power, so no luck there in creating an anchor and some structure for the fish. So what we're going to do is 8 to 12-year-olds lining up the 4 of Knox Holzer, the 15X of Liv Schmitz, the 27 of Lane Weiss, the 88 of Colton Wendt. I don't know where he went, but the 156 of Caleb Polhill, the 189 of Noel Gillis, the 200 of Wyatt Olson, the 314 of Bryson McKevley, the 713 of Regan Trafford, and the 824 of Brecken Peterson. They are on the line. The track is clear. We are going to get them started, and we are going to be wrapping her up here. Couple of races away, folks. The fun isn't over. Beautiful weather. More snow than anywhere else in the state. All right, we've gone green, which means the second heat coming up here is going to... So it looks like Lane Weiss, I believe, was your Hole Shot Stud Boy Hole Shot Award winner for the transition 8 to 12. This is our first heat. And there he comes, the 27 of Lane Weiss, being chased down by the 713 of Regan Trafford and the 15X of Liv Schmitz. So your leader, Lane Weiss, out of Lino Lakes, Minnesota, on a Cat. Sponsored by Sheeta Plumbing, Surface Specialist, Anchors End Tattoo, Loft Tech Engineering, Jonesy's Local, and Agassi 10 Insurance. He's coming around getting that white flag. Being chased down by the 713 of Regan Trafford out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. And the 156 of Caleb Polhill, also out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. There is your winner, the 27, Lane Weiss. Regan Trafford rolling in second. And your third place buggy straight out of Ontario, the 156 of Caleb Polhill, doing a little silly as he crossed the line. And we've gone green in the transition. Here's the second one. A couple of riders came in contact with each other. Looks like we got volunteers and family tending to them right away. We're going to red flag this one, folks. They're going to be in the racing line, and we want to make sure everyone's okay. So our EMTs out there, we're going to red flag, meaning all the riders go right back to the starting line. All right, a big round of applause. They're on their feet, and everything appears to be okay, folks. Once again, ERX Motor Park, what we try to ensure is safety first. So we do have tech. All the machines have to go through, as well as our tech guys are always looking for the latest gear, whether it's chest protectors, neck braces, knee braces, certified helmets. You know, we're all about safety here. Functioning tethers. So it's just for situations like this where they get in a bit of a tussle, and hopefully they're okay to get back and go racing again. Because remember, we're dealing with humans here that are anywhere from 10 to 13 years old in this class. So it's a transition class. This is the future of our sport. They're going to get shaken up a little bit like that, but ultimately we want them to get back in the saddle and back to the line, and let's go have some fun. All right, we have a request. Well, now, this is purely a request because, don't worry, we'll take matters into our own hands. But there's a silver Volkswagen car parked behind one of the trailers, and they need to get the trailer out. If you own a silver Volkswagen car parked where all the race vehicles are, by the Euros, don't worry, if you don't move it, we will get in a front-end loader with forks and move it for you. So, silver Volkswagen car, this is your chance to go move the vehicle, please. We're going to get. We got word that they found out who the owner of the car is, and we're just going to use the bulldozer. We'll move it. Don't worry. They build new parts every day for Volkswagens. We'll be fine. All right, they are lined up again. We're going to give it another go. Remember, there's anything from 10 to 13-year-olds out there. And we've gone green. We'll see who ends up getting that Stud Boy Hole Shot Award. And that went to the 621 of Diedrich Schwann out of Box Elder, South Dakota. Sponsors, he is 10 years old. Our youngest rider on the track took the Hole Shot Award. Sponsored by Schwann Motorsports. Rose HP, R12 Design, Stud Boy, CNA Pro Skis, Arctic Cat, Climb, Mid-Atlantic Energy Services, Oak Interiors, and Mehoff Construction. And you got our second place riders, Eleanor Schmidt, riding quite strongly in the 952 of Jackson Rath in third. All right, the white flag's going to be flying here next time around. Oh, I'm sorry, it already is flying. So what does that mean? That our partially blind flagman's going to reach for the, look at that, with Braille, he finds the checkered flag. Now this is a skill, okay? He doesn't even know where the sleds are on the track. You'll notice he stands very still and uses hearing, mainly through the speakers that are attached to his ears, to tell him the sleds are coming to the finish line. And then he waves it like he can see them. The 621 of Diedrich Schwann taking the win, the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt, and the 952 of Jackson Rath coming across the line in third, bringing us to race 23, which already started. It's the Ditch Banger! Nothing like a bunch of ditch bangers getting out there. All right, we are on to the ditch bangers, the 2000 to 2009s, the green flags flying. Looks like we got the Brecken Bishop up front and Brandon Bishop in tow. They're just trading a little paint there. The Bishop boys, no love lost right here, right? They're brothers. They're not necessarily going to fight fair. So, all right, so what they got going on is it's a battle of the Bishops, 1 and 2. And that third place buggy is going to just wait and see if either one of them makes a mistake to kind of make his way in there. The 95 of Aaron Patton running in third. Brecken out front on a Pro X and an X2 is his brother. And then something coming straight out of 98. The Red Rocket is running in third. That's the 95 of Aaron Patton. Whew, they are fast and furious. All right, they're coming around right now. They're going to see that checkered flag. That's going to be Brecken Bishop taking the win. Sponsored by Amy Jordal, State Farm, RJ Sports and Cycle, Horizon Retail Construction, Cast Iron Bar and Grill, Minnesota Marshmallow, FXR, Fowler Parts Service, Bikeman Performance, Thunder Sports Performance, and Caves Customs. And we have officially gone to the Ditch Banger Triples, and there's only 3 of them. These are your podium finishers right here. The Ditch Banger Triples. A couple of Polarises, so I think that makes it a Polari, and then 1 Yamaha out there. And it looks like the 6, boy, I'm off on the numbers there. That would be Peyton Smith in the lead, followed by the 321 of David Olson. Oh. Is it just me, or do some of these sleds look like they're hitting the ground particularly harder than they were earlier? I don't know. It's kind of the part I love about later in the afternoon when, you know, the fatigue has set in and the blood alcohol level might be a little higher. And then the sleds don't go around the track quite as smoothly as they once did. So the line choices change, but that doesn't mean we don't have more, folks, because race 25 is coming up. The 2-up race is next. And I see 2 of them lined up. They're going for battle. The white flag's flying to the 068 of Peyton Smith. That is your leader, the 321 of David Olson. See, David used a unique technique there of ramming the bumper into the berm to pivot the sled. However, it mainly just groomed the berm more than anything. So they'll be coming across the line to see that checkered flag, which is more than the flagman can see when his impaired vision, but whatever. He's doing the job nonetheless. And that is the 068 of Peyton Smith taking the win, the 321 of David Olson. And the Yamaha, which is a 96X with stickers made from tape out of Danbury, Wisconsin. That's Brighton Summer. 2 sleds in the 2-up race. That's right, 2 sleds and 4 people. And that's what we're going to do for our last race here at our Sunday Fun Day, February 11th here at ERX Motor Park. I want to give a big thank you to everybody that came out here today to race, all of our supporting sponsors, to Joe Duncan for coming up with this whole concoction and getting all these people out here to do laps. It looks like the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt is in the lead, and the 100 of Gabrick Guyan is chasing them around. I want to tell everybody to go on home, drive safely, enjoy the afternoon with friends and family, maybe enjoy a little football. I would, however, there's no motors involved, so it's not really my deal, but make sure that you tell your friends and family and get them to come out here to ERX. There's so many events that go on here. You can go on erxmotorpark.com and find out more. But the 811 of Eleanor Schmidt out of Brainerd on her Cat for Krasik Racing, Bikeman, Climb, CNA Pro Skis, Digital Ink Designs, Redline Tools, Ice Fort Sled Girls. And they are being chased down by Gabrick Guyan out of Maple Lake on their Ski-Doo. Sponsored by Powers Motorsports, Lundin Ford, Bikeman, Ladinia Landscape, Annandale Dental, and the FXRs. Yellow flag, which means back to the starting line you go. The driver unplugs their tether. The passenger jumps forward and plugs in a tether. Or if you do it the way we did it in the past, you just hook the tethers together and you never swap it out. I'm just saying, I'm not saying. And away they go. Now they've been passed. The 811 of Eleanor Schmidt is in arrears because the 100 of Gabrick Guyan, who appears to still have the same person driving, I know it's kind of weird, but it might be an optical illusion, is still going to do a lap, so Eleanor's got work to do. I'm still telling you, Eleanor's suit, I'm digging that. Pink, orange, yellow, it stands out. And they got one lap left. Our flaggers waving the white flag. And there it is. Eleanor made the pass. Once again, we're going to let them come to the finish line. I want to give a huge thank you to all of our volunteers and our flaggers, even though some of them are vision impaired, for coming on out here tonight and spending all of your time at ERX Motor Park. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you very much. Our EMTs, Timmy, thank you. We appreciate all you do. Everybody working inside the chalet, our bartenders, make sure you come in and throw a lot of cash at them because they're doing their best to keep everybody hydrated. And there's going to be plenty more events here at ERX this year, so make sure you go on erxmotorpark.com, get the latest and greatest updates. And tell your friends and tell your family, your cousins, your uncles, your babysitter's friend, your babysitter who knows a guy who used to babysit for whose sister's cousin has never been to ERX, and get them out here. There's plenty more fun to be had this year at ERX, and you know what? Eventually winter will come, but thank you everybody for coming out. And with that, I'm out.
When you need to ship it from anywhere to anywhere.
QualityFreightRate.com.
The LTL Freight Logistics Specialist for your small business.
QualityFreightRate.com.
We simplify shipping, eliminate those surprise charges, and negotiate the best rates from most LTL qualified carriers.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Special residential and liftgate rates available for automotive and ag implements.
QualityFreightRate.com.
The company that actually cares about the American small business owner.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Use the promo code SHIPIT and get 10% off your first shipment. Startup is so easy. Get a quote and ship today. QualityFreightRate.com.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers at Certified Angus Beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected. So this whole operation here, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but it needs to have passion. And today, I'm changing lives of people that work with me. My guys are learning lifelong skills and values. That's the good stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's have a good time at it.